Alice Guo from the country on August 18, Madam Chair. And however, Madam Chair, during that time, it was yet not verified by other source. And the following day, Madam Chair, that's on August 19, the good senator po made a privileged speech that indeed Alice Guo is already in Indonesia or Singapore.
So,
Madam
Senate
Chair.
pa nakapag-confirm sa NICA?
Madam Chair, sorry po.
Kumbaga, yung Senate pa ang nakapag-corroborate sa NICA sa unverified information.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Ano pong ginawa ng agency
Opo.
sa
Madam
information?
Chair, opo. On the part of NICA po, continuous naman po ang aming coordination with other intelligence agencies. And in fact po, our Regional Intelligence Committee have already noted po that as early as July 10, wala na pong monitoring sa municipal office kay Mayor Goo. And this information po was shared to the members po of the Regional Intelligence Committee in our regional office trip po, Madam Chair.
And any national security threat na nakikita kayo sa lahat ng ito?
Madam Chair, considering the fact po that Ms. Goo has been involved and charged with various criminal charges and involved in other unlawful activities, plus the fact po that her Filipino citizenship is in question, the NICA po considers this as a national security concern.
Alright.
Thank you po,
Salamat
Madam
po,
Chair.
Attorney. In question pa po ba yung Filipino citizenship niya after yung pag-match ng fingerprints ng NBI at pagkatapos din ng statements ng ibang government and constitutional bodies?
Opo. Madam Chair, actually po, we took notice po of the report that the fingerprints of Guo Huaping and Alice Guo matched po. So, meron na po tayong malinaw siguro na sagot po doon, Madam Chair.
So, hindi lang po in question yung Filipino citizenship, pero proven na hindi totoo.
Yes po, Madam Chair.
Alright. Salamat po, Attorney Acudili.
Thank you po, Madam
And
Chair.
lastly po sa DOJ, will it be Attorney Gatdula to answer this last question for the department? Salamat, sir. Lastly po, pag-iisahin ko na lang, meron po bang update sa investigasyon kung sino-sino nga ang tumulong kina Alice Guo na tumakas? What about Wesley Guo? And lastly po, anong posisyon ng executive dun sa reported na swap request ng Indonesian government?
Yes, Madam Chair, good afternoon. Regarding sa investigation as to who helped the Goos, right now po, we're still waiting for the results from the NBI and PAOC. But with regard to the request for possibly prisoner exchange, we have an existing treaty with Indonesia. We could accommodate such requests if formally made. But right now, no such request has been done by Indonesia. So still, these are unverified reports pa po.
All right. Salamat for the update. Lastly, yung kay Wesley Guo, may any sighting? Siya na lang yung huling pinaghahanap pa?
Yes, Madam Sen. Actually, we're still waiting for
NBI and
information from PAOC and NBI, Madam Sen.
All right. Salamat, Attorney.
Thank you po.
Salamat, Attorney. So, before the Chair ends my questioning and turns over first of all to Senator JV, I wish to share that the executive session has surfaced a clear link to Mayor Kalugay of Sual, Pangasinan. Kaya I really, really hope that the good mayor will make himself available when he is called. Wag po sanang bigla kayong umalis sa bansa, Mayor. All right. So now...
And having said
yes,
that, Madam Chair,
Joel.
please forgive me for reiterating this plea and appeal to all our government authorities. Napakasakit po isipin na ang isang fugitive sa Pilipinas mahuhuli lamang pag lumabas ng bansa dahil napakadali lumabas ng bansa. Let it be a lesson to our PNP, Coast Guards, Bureau of Immigration, at iba pang mga government agencies because this is not this is not something we should all be proud of. Nakakahiya po tayo. Sampal po sa ating lahat ito. And binabanggit ngayon ni Sen. Risa, marami na ho kaming nakukuhang impormasyon, ang committee na ito, ang Senado, and ayaw naman namin na ma-delay na naman dahil makakaalis na naman ang bansa easily at sasabihin na naman na hindi alam na sila ay mga persons of interest. Salamat ho, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Sen. Joel. So the Chair now recognizes Sen. JV for his questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Anyway, we received information, the Secretariat, that yung mga taga-PAOC, they're attending the budget hearing in the other house. Baka nakalimutan nila, may budget hearing din tayo next week ng Office of the President, which usually, Madam Chair, as of courtesy, breezes through. But this time, I am thinking, considering to ask that the PAOC's budget be deferred because this is a clear disrespect to this committee. Diba? It's very important. This is a very important investigation, and sila po yung nasa primary, one of the primary agencies that is really active here. And likewise, Madam Chair, next week, no, OP budget, so if they do not show up before 5, I might move that their budget be deferred. Yung OP, papasa po natin, and that's attached agencies. Because ang worry ko lang po dito, Madam Chair, like you, I have doubts on the narration of Ms. Sheila Guo and the PAOC's narrative, yung pong naginamit po nila yung through boats, no? Small boat, fishing boat, hanggang papunta po ng Sabah. And then that's why I would like to ask NBI later on, kahit po konti, no? Kahit hindi po tapos, yung pong kanina pong initial investigation.
Madam Chair, with the indulgence of my good friend, Senator JV, can I just make a parliamentary inquiry as to the whereabouts of PAOC? You mean to say, Madam Chair, there is no representative here from PAOC? That is unbelievable. I mean, that is really unbelievable. In a budget hearing, lahat sila pupunta doon at wala ni isa ipadadala to represent PAOC here in the Senate?
Salamat, Sen. Joel. And with the further indulgence of Sen. JV, I wish to make of record, sulat po for the Executive Director ng PAOC, na si Director Winston John Romero Casio, their letter dated September 5, so ngayong araw, hoping that it will be acceptable to the subcommittee. Dear Honorable Ontiveros, peace be unto you. On behalf of the Executive Director, Under Secretary Gilbert D.C. Cruz, allow me to convey our inability to attend the legislative public hearing of your esteemed committee due to an equally pressing matter that we need to address as a result of our recent rescue operation in Lapu-Lapu City. Due to the limited number of personnel detailed and assigned to the commission, the two directors privy to the anti-scam hub operations are currently unavailable. We would make ourselves available in the next public hearing on this matter. Be assured of our continuing commitment to public service. Allow me to convey our gratitude in advance. And additionally, at this point, Sen. Joel, in relation to the manifestation made earlier by Sen. JV, very well noted po ng Chair, the matter in relation to yung upcoming budget hearing ng PAOC. We will make efforts. The Chair requests the COMSEC to ask PAOC if it is really physically impossible for them to come back today from Lapu-Lapu City. Perhaps at least one of the two directors could be available online.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's just that I wanted to put this on record, Madam Chair, that not a single person would represent PAOC in this very important investigation. We don't have a session today because of this hearing. We were supposed to have a Thursday session. It's raining outside, flooded all over. We are all here working. But PAOC doesn't have any representative, not one. who would be able to represent PAOC for the Senate. I'm warning all of the government agencies. Baka hindi nyo alam kung anong Senado. And it's a sign of disrespect, I have to say. And I joined the gentleman from San Juan for the deferral of their budget, Madam Chair. If I am not accepting the letter that was sent today, Madam Chair, today, that no one, not a single person would represent PAOC in this investigation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Sen Joel. Not one of the two directors, but it's only fair for the subcommittee to insist that someone from the PAOC be present and or at least one of the two directors online from Lapu-Lapu City. Sen JV, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Anyway, magandang hapon, Sheila. No? Huwag kang mag-alala, hindi po ako mainit, kaya sana isagutin mo ako ng tama at maayos. Kasi marami rin yung kilalang Go na makilala kong Go kasi alam lahat eh. Ikaw lahat, hindi mo alam. Hopefully this time, tatanungin ko lang, gusto ko lang liwanagin, no? Yung pong salaysay. So nagsimula yung salaysay nung sinundo kayo sa farm, sa Bamban, bumiyahe ng 4-5 oras, tama, no? Tapos sumakay sa porto, tapos sumakay na small boat. Ang tanong ko lang po kasi ang sabi ng PAOC, parang pareho sa istorya mo, sumakay ng porto, doon po, nasabit nga. Kasi po, Madam Chair, that's why I'm also concerned. Napunta rin po ko sa Emon Polo, no? Kilala ko po rin si Mr. Raymond Ronquillo. And yung pong access doon, siguro tanong ko lang si Raymond Ronquillo, ang access ba sa Emon Polo ay meron bang land access doon? O paano ba ang pagpunta sa Emon Polo?
Mr. Ronquillo.
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair. Ang Emon Pulo po, you have to ride the boat. Wala po kaming, Mr. Chair, ng land access. So, if you're coming from SBMA or Pundakit, yun po ang access po natin papunta pong Emon Pulo via boat. Pag po nagta-travel po kayo ng mga 30 to 35 knots, siguro po abutin po tayo ng mga 35 to 40 minutes po ang biyahe from either SBMA or Pundakit po, Mr. Chair.
So ang access to Emon Polo is through boat or chopper? Kasi ang sabi niyo, si Alice Guo kanina, by chopper silang pumunta ron. Dalawa lamang, walang land access.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Ang worry ko lang, Madam Chair, that's why I wanted PAOC to be here, because ang kanila pang istorya ay sa Emon Polo, sumakay. In fact, sabi ni Mr. Casio noon, nakikinig po ako sa inyo kaya nga hindi na ako nag-attend sa hearing with the able stewardship of the chair and si Sen Win, Sen Joel, maayos na Kaya lang, nabahala ako sa statement ni Mr. Casio ng PAOC na sabi na galing sa Emon Polo, in fact, nagpunta ang kanilang agents doon, at meron yatang record, no, si Mr. Ronquillo, na nagpunta ang PAOC doon August 2. Diba? Tama ba?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. August 2 po sila
At
nagpunta.
ang sabi ni Mr. Casio, 1 hour and a half lang ay hindi nakaalis na si Mayor Alice Guo at hindi nila inabutan. Yun ang kanyang salaysay. Pero ang tanong ko lang, siguro sa PNP can confirm, Mr. Ronquillo earlier said that August 1, dahil nga sa duda, sinamahan po niya ang regional, kung sinong official ng PNP from Region 3, pumunta po ng Emon Polo to make an inspection. Sino pa pwede sa PNP?
General Salvador.
General?
Yes po, based on the report from the Directorate for Intelligence, may validation pong ginawa doon. At based doon nga po sa regulations nila na talagang based na rin doon sa statement po ni Mr. Ronquillo.
So sumama po talaga, General Salvador. May opisyal ng Region 3 that went to Emon Polo, kasama po si Raymond Ronquillo.
Yes po, meron po.
August 1, no?
August 1
That was
po.
August 1. And then PAOC went August 2. Ang ano ko lang doon, tapos ang sinabi ni Mr. Casio, 1 hour and a half lang, umalis na po, no? Na late bow sila. Nandun na po ang PNP na August 1, hindi ba sila nakipag-coordinate sa'yo na hindi nila alam na nagkaroon na kayo inspection? Nag-coordinate ba ang PAOC sa PNP?
Wala pong report ang PRO3 as to the coordination po ng
PAOC po.
Okay, salamat po. Siguro matanong ko lang din ang Coast Guard. Coast Guard. Ang Coast Guard, sa meron ba tayong monitoring? Is there a monitoring ng mga barko na dumadaan sa atin, no, fishing vessels, anyway, yung big, alam na natin yung mga maliliit na mga sea vessels, no, mga speedboats, hindi na natin inaano yan eh. Pero yung mga bigger ships, no, don't we have a way to monitor? Ang pagkakaalam ko ay meron tayong automatic identification system, tama ho ba? Sa bawat vessels ay required para alam nyo po ang registration, alam nyo po kung saan itong bansa na nakarehistro, etc. Yung information. Sige po.
Vice Admiral.
Vice Admiral.
Vice Admiral Punsalan.
Po. Thank you, Madam Chair, Your Honor. Doon po sa automatic identification system, meron pong regulation na ang certain ships, particularly 500 gross tons for 300 gross tons for passengers above, tsaka 500 gross tons above for cargo, kinakailangan po meron silang AIS, transponder, at nag-emit po ito ng signal. Ang Coast Guard po, among other agencies, may capability rin po to track this. We have sea vision systems, bilang halimbawa, para makita at ma-monitor po natin ito.
So, during those times, no, kasi ang salaysay po ni Michelle Go, sila po sumakay ng malaking vessel, no, ang papuntang Sabah. Wala bang kahinahinala or suspicious na movement or any record of whatsoever na meron ho talagang from galing Zambales, pumunta ng Mindanao hanggang po sa Sabah?
Coincidentally po, right after the hearing, nag-initiate po yung mga units po natin to determine and backtrack on the movement of ships. If I'm not mistaken, there were 5 merchant ships. Ito po yung mga cargo vessels po na malalaki with very high freeboards na monitor po natin, and we have records for that, and we can submit to this August body, to the committee, just to manifest that we have such a capability to track. But this type of vessel, we are still uncertain with the type of the big boat. The big boat po. Kaya nga po, we also wish that we can get answers to mga katanungan kung ano yung experiences during the transferring, if indeed the allegations are true, Madam Chair.
Anyway, submit to the committee. At least we have that way, Madam Chair, to verify through the AIS, meron pa tayong capability to track the movements and the routes of the different vessels that traverse the country. So, paki-submit na lang po sa committee.
Please do that, Vice Admiral. And Sen JV colleagues, PAOC Director Casio is available and online now for any questions from the subcommittee. Please proceed, Sen JV.
Miss Sheila Go, siguro habang inaantay natin si Mr. Casio mag-online, siguro pwede niyong nakikinig naman po ako doon sa inyong mga salaysay. Anyway, gusto ko lang siguro malaman, yung pong sinakyan niyo ba vessel, fishing boat o merchant ship, yung malaking barko yung hanggang umabot ng hanggang Sabah, ano paki-describe lang po?
Sorry po, hindi ko intindi po.
Anong itsura nung barko na inyong sinakyan papunta po ng Sabah? Yung malaking...
Yung malaki po.
Malaki, no?
Oo.
O ano ba siya, pang-isda?
Ang una akit ko kasi, hindi ko sure kung yung kulay kung silver o gray. May nakita ko yung lake, yung panghuli na fish, yung maliit lang na doon sa gilid. Then, diretso na kami pasok sa ilalim na may isang kwarto. Yun lang.
So, ano siya, parang fishing vessel,
Hindi
pang-isda,
hindi ko
panghuli.
masabi kung ano yun po.
Hindi, kasi ang ano ko lang dito, Madam Chair, siyempre, kung kayo po nila Mayor Alice Guo, kung sanay sa komportableng buhay, no, hindi naman kayo mahirap, ang pagkakaalam ko sa mga fishing vessels, talagang ano yan, no? Hindi yan komportable. No? Kung meron man kwartong kapitan, maliit siguro. At ano po ang itsura niya? Merong mga madumi ba? Maayos? Maganda? Anong anong larawan?
Tama lang po, hindi siya malumi, hindi din siya malinis.
Pero yung
Tapos,
inyong,
wala po siya lahat.
hindi siya madumi, hindi rin malinis.
Oh, yung tama lang po.
Okay, tama lang.
Sa tingin ko, tama lang po.
Okay, yung pong kwarto, isang kwarto lang kayo lahat.
Opo.
Kayo lahat kasya
Opo.
doon.
Opo.
Okay. So yung, kasi po ngayon ay, Madam Chair, this is a habagat season, no? Very choppy yung waters. So kaya nga, nagdududa rin ako paano aabot ng unless talagang trawler ito para umabot ng Sabah. Kamusta po ang biyahe nyo?
Hindi
Maalon
po.
ba?
Oo, maalon po.
Maalon. Hindi nahilo kayo?
Oo, nahihilo ako sa dagat.
Okay, so hanggang saan kayo umabot? Doon sa Sabah na, no? Tama? Doon lang yung
Hindi ko
base
alam
sa iyong
kung saan.
salaysay?
Basta pagdating kami, maliit ang yung pool. Pagdating kami doon, sempen na ang alam ko.
Lumipat pa kayo ng maliit na boat ulit.
Oo,
No?
oo.
Yun ang dumaong. Si Mr. Casio, nandyan ba? Is he online?
Director
Director
Casio,
Casio.
pakibuksan yung video nyo para makita kayo ni Sen JV at naming lahat.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Mobile lang po.
Ay, Director
Good afternoon,
Casio,
Director.
thank you for this effort because I really wanted to ask you because like the chair, even the DOJ Secretary, meron po kaming duda doon sa inyong salaysay na nanggaling po sa Zambales, sumakay ng boat, no? Kayo yung sa PAOC, yung sa NBI at DOJ po galing sa South. So ano ba, do you still stand by your narrative na yung pong sa investigation na sumakay po ng isang porto bandang Zambales papunta po ng Sabah?
Magandang hapon po, Mr. Chair, Honorable Ercito. During the last public hearing po ng subcommittee, we already recanted, so to speak, our information because we received the information initially, Mr. Chair, July 14, that apparently a report from assets within the resorts intimated to us that a person in the likeness of Miss Guo supposedly arrived in Emon Polo on July 14 po. Then, pinabalidate po namin iyon and then our asset continued to hold on to the assertion na nandun pa po siya talaga sa lugar na iyon. Kaya lang tama po, the operation was the mission of order was implemented by the Bureau of Immigration and some elements from the armed forces with the coordination of PAOC on August 2 na po. No? So a few weeks after the supposed sighting. Then during the last hearing, it was made public yung timeline ng mga events that supposedly point to the
Director Casio, pwede kaya kayong tumabi sa yung sasakyan nyo na hindi mobile para stable ang signal?
Siguro while waiting, Madam Chair,
Yes,
for
please
Director
proceed.
Casio.
through the questionable tool po to state
Director Casio,
mali nga
siguro,
po yung aming natransport minsan.
Ang ko lang, Madam Chair, Director Casio, siguro tumabi muna kayo, no?
Ma'am, sige lang po.
Ayan,
Hanap po
okay
kami
na.
ng paparkingan.
Sige
Park
po.
muna
Okay,
tayo.
salamat, Director.
Ayan, mukhang okay naman eh. Director Casio,
Ito,
okay
Sen.
na kayo?
JV.
Mukhang naman park pa. Anyway, siguro sa NBI or DOJ can answer. The DOJ Secretary Remulla, doubts the story of Alice Guo, Sheila Guo. Yung
Yes, sir. Nakapark po kami.
Nakapark na kayo, Director Casio?
Sige, Director Casio, pakiayusin muna yung connection nyo and then come
We'll go
back
back to you.
online. Opo.
Sige, anybody from NBI? Siguro. NBI, Attorney Jerome Bomediano. I know that, as you mentioned earlier, nagtanong si Madam Chair, you are still in the process of completing your investigation. Pero initially, even the DOJ Secretary said he doubted yung pong istorya na galing po ng Norte. Ang sa kanila po, ang tingin nyo po ay galing sa southern backdoor to the south. No? Do you confirm this, Attorney?
During the last hearing, Madam Chair, Your Honor, our director mentioned that may info nga na sa south tumaan. So, that's why we are validating all this information na nakuha namin. Tapos, nag-coordinate na rin kami sa lahat ng foreign counterparts natin para ma-establish talaga natin kung paano siya lumabas dito sa bansa.
So sa NBI mas kayo sa southern backdoor and DOJ initially. Kahit initial lang, hindi naman kailangan. I know that you are still collating your investigation.
Yes, Your Honor. Initial information, Your Honor.
Initial. Madam Chair, that's why I ask kasi conflicting yung PAOC, parang they are yung narrative parang pareho kay Sheila Guo to the yung both story yung sa gusto natin malaman sa NBI naman DOJ through the southern backdoor through probably a private plane. We want to find out in this investigation kung ano talaga because we want also that those involved and those who help or were instrumental in this case, especially those government officials, if ever owners of private planes or boats, they have to be charged accordingly for being instruments in this crime, no? And nakaka-insulto na ho ito eh. Ilang beses na ho tayo, Madam Chair, natakasan ng mga kriminal, no? Hindi natin mahul dito, ibang bansa doon nahuhuli. So that's the reason why I ask sana PAOC and the NBI which is which, no? Sana malaman natin because we do not want to muddle the issue mamaya because of this confusion. Kaya nga medyo na inamin naman po kanina ni Director Casio na nag-recant siya. Pero the truth of the matter, nilabas niya na yung istorya. So, namamadel, natatakpan natin yung katotohanan. And in the process, baka mamaya yung mga talagang perpetrators, those who aided Alice Guo, Sheila Guo, and company, will go unscathed, no? So, that's the last thing we want. We want to bring to justice not only the Go sisters, but those who aided para hindi na ho ito mangyari, Madam Chair, in the future. And serve as a lesson that government officials or whoever who aid in trying to cover up for or to escape, no, for criminals, talagang dapat managot din po, no, in this in what is happening. Nakakalungkot po talaga no, na talaga imposibleng wala hong tumulong sa kanila, and that's what we want to find out in this investigation. So si Director Casio, is he online already?
Director Casio? Offline pa rin po siya, Sen JV. When he comes back online.
Yes, Madam
tuloy
Chair,
yung tanong sa
probably
kanila.
we'll just wait when he is available already online. O kaya pagbalik na lang po niya, physically.
And Sen JV, humihingi na lang ang PAOC ng 10 minutes para makapasok sa office and maayos yung kanilang connection for further questions.
I'll just wait, Madam Chair.
All right.
Probably Sen Win and Sen Joel can go
All
ahead.
right. Salamat, Sen JV. So, to continue in a bit. So, for now, Sen Sherwin, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Umpisahan ko po sa AMLAC, and I congratulate AMLAC for already filing the case. Alam ko matagal na natin pinag-uusapan dito yan. And in the case of Bamban, ipinakita natin, I'll show it again, no? Pinakita natin na napakalaking perang pumasok sa ating sistema na hindi natin nakikita. I'll show yung estimate namin. Yung building cost, Carla. So, tinignan natin yung financial statements ang lahat ng Guo-related family businesses, Tinignan natin lahat ng kanilang mga tax returns, pero hindi natin mahanap-hanap kung paano nakapasok ganito kalaking pera, no, dito sa ating bansa. Wala pa, Carla? Yan. So, hindi yan. Yung sa dulo na. Yung pinaka-last. There. Yan. So, itong structure na ito, no, at a very conservative cost, will cost around 6.1 billion pesos. No? Itinayo to ng wala rin tayong kamalay-malay. Hindi natin alam kung sino yung contractor, hindi natin alam kung sino yung manpower services, hindi natin alam kung sino yung nag-supply ng heavy equipment. At nakita naman natin sa picture na ito ay tawag nga nila BGC of Bamban, no? Dahil nga sa laki nung pagko-construct nitong building. Ngayon, humingi kami ng tulong sa AMLAC para malaman natin kung paano nakapasok itong pera, sino nagdala ng pera dito, at saan pumunta yung pera. At nalaman namin na last week na nag-file na ng kaso ang AMLAC. So we want to get an update. Dahil for me, para sa akin, ito ay classic money laundering activity. No? Dahil hindi natin ma-detect kung sino ang nagdadala dito nitong pera na ito. So gusto namin malaman ngayon ano yung findings ninyo sa kaso at alam na ba natin yung source nitong itong pera at kung paano, kung sino yung mga binayaran nila, no, para maipatayo ito. Dahil naniniwala ako yung contractor, dito lang yan eh. No? So gusto namin malaman, Attorney Arpon, ano yung mga findings niyo tungkol dito?
Attorney.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, good afternoon. Last Friday, we have filed a man laundering complaint together with the NBI and PAOC. The basis of the money laundering complaint we filed, Your Honor, were the expenses of Baofu, which were paid by entities owned or affiliated with Alice Guo, Your Honor. And we have further determined that it was Alice Guo herself who funded the expenses paid by the Guo companies, Your Honor. So that was the findings we had and the basis of the money laundering complaint. Now, Your Honor, the investigation in this case is still ongoing, Your Honor, considering the magnitude of this case. But if I may say, Your Honor, similar to the one that we filed last Friday, what we have mentioned, what we have noticed rather, was that the transactions of the subjects in this case were all cash intensive. It was just mainly cash deposits, Your Honor. So that is another challenge for us. And again, Your Honor, we are still conducting our investigation.
So how much, magkano yung magkano yung deposits lumalabas sa lahat?
Your Honor, what we have filed thus far last Friday is just, as I mentioned, the expenses that were shouldered by Alice Guo, Your Honor. And I may not be at liberty, Your Honor, to discuss all the transactions of all the subjects, Your Honor. My apologies.
You mentioned ang subject ng case is only the transactions?
Yes, because that would constitute a clear case of money laundering already, Your Honor. We don't have to determine the entirety of all the transactions because a charge for money laundering is based on the transactions.
Transactions that came in?
For the Friday, the one we filed last Friday, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And ito yung pumasok sa kanyang account. Saan pumasok yung account? Saan pumasok yung pera?
It was, what we have traced, Your Honor, was that the expenses were paid by QJJ Farm and QC Genetics, Your Honor. It is for the periods from 2020 to 2024. Further investigation revealed that the money or the person who funded the payment by QJJ Farm and QC Genetics was Miss Alice Guo.
What are these expenses?
It's for the electricity expenses, Your Honor.
These are
Tarelco.
these are for electricity expenses.
Yes, Your Honor. At the time when Alice Guo already mentioned that she has already divested from Baofu, Your Honor.
Okay. But how much is, magkano yung pumasok? No? I don't think it will be that significant kasi expenses lang to.
Your Honor,
But how much yung pumasok? How much is that?
for the account of Alice Guo, Your Honor.
For the account of Alice Guo.
Your Honor, under Section 8A of the AMLA, I would be glad to discuss that, Your Honor, in executive session.
If I may, Madam Chair, with the indulgence of
Yes, go ahead.
Senator
Sen. Joel.
I think this is a public record because I think the senator, our good friend Senator Witt, is only asking about the case. And in the case, the 87 counts of money laundering was based on the 7 billion worth of transactions. Is that a correct statement, Your Honor? Yeah.
Yes, sir. For the 7 billion, it's the estimation on the cost of putting up the building, I guess, Your Honor.
So it did not. It is not the basis for. It's not the basis na maging 87 counts yung counts ng money laundering case na final ng AMLA kila Alice Guo.
If I may clarify, Your Honor, the basis of the 87, I think it's 92 to be exact, was the expenses that were shouldered by Go entities, Your Honor. So it has nothing to do with the structure, Your Honor. Not yet. We are not at that point yet, Your Honor, because we are still continuing our investigation.
Thank you, Sen. Joel. Attorney, please continue to address the questions
sorry,
of Sen.
I'm sorry.
Sherwin. No, there's no problem. I just wish to say that please answer as far as you can in open hearing dito sa very pertinent questions ni Sen. Sherwin. Sen. Sherwin.
With you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. So sa ngayon, what you're saying is basically, may pumasok na pera at ginamit to, pumasok na pera sa mga Guo family businesses at ginamit yan para sa Baofu sa pagbayad ng expenses.
Yes,
Correct?
Your Honor.
Essentially, yun yung sinasabi mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct.
Insofar as the
Attorney.
complaint filed last Friday,
Okay.
yes.
But what we want is to understand itong 6.1 billion pesos. Because in Tarelco is pangbayad lang ng kuryente yan eh. No? But we want to understand the bigger amount, which is paano nila napatayo itong building na ito. Diba? And we've been talking about this since day one. No? In fact, itong slide na pinakita namin, this was also shown during the second hearing. So that's what we want to understand from AMLAC. I know the expenses is only a small part. I read the complaint. Maliit na amount lang yan. It doesn't even run into billions. No? But this is the bigger crime. No? Putting up a building that we don't know how the money came in. Yun ang aking punto. And I'll show that the same phenomena in Porac. No? So ang punto ko, nalalampasan tayo ng money launderers na hindi natin alam. So I want to understand from AMLAC how this big of amount came in, saan dumaan siya, at sino yung mga binayaran nitong mga perang pumasok.
Your Honor, what I can disclose at this point, Your Honor, considering that the bank accounts of Guo, some of the bank accounts were mentioned in the money laundering complaint that we filed last Friday, I can discuss up to that point, Your Honor. It's no longer covered by the confidentiality under Section 8A of the AMLA and Republic Act 1405. Now, for the accounts that we have examined that were used in committing money laundering in relation to what we have filed, we have observed that the transactions, as I have mentioned earlier, they're all cash intensive, cash deposits amounting to millions, which is very unusual. If you are a legitimate business person, you won't transact in cash. What further fuels the suspicion, Your Honor, is that the possible source of income of Alice Guo, it is not commensurate with the declared source of income of Alice Guo, Your Honor.
So, saan nanggaling yung cash deposits?
Your Honor, in money laundering investigation, cash transactions really pose a challenge for us, Your Honor, because we have to determine who are the possible cohorts or those in cahoots with the person so that we can cross-match the transactions.
So all of this, okay, we're talking about the expenses or we're talking about this building?
I'm referring to the transactions that we have observed in the account of Alice Guo, Your Honor.
Okay. And all of those came in the form of cash. Cash ang deposit. Lahat puro cash siya.
A majority, Your Honor, amounting to hundreds of millions, Your Honor, including the QJJ farm, Your Honor, the declared source of income, even the paid-up capital, would not support the transactions,
Correct.
the hundreds of millions in
That's right.
transactions.
We saw that. We
Yes.
demonstrated that. I'll show the financial statements. It's we demonstrated that. Ang tanong nga namin is how much ang pumasok. That's what we want to understand.
For the account...
For everything.
Again, Your Honor, I may not be at liberty to discuss all of the
Kailan nyo ba
accounts.
pwedeng sabihin? Because we've been talking about this for 3 months running already. No? And we need to understand, the public needs to understand kung bakit may money laundering. Because yung money laundering, kailangan rin natin may paliwanag yan sa taong bayan. Dahil yan rin yung pinakamalaking krimen dito. Yan yung isa sa pinakamalaking krimen dito sa nangyayari ngayon. So kailan ba namin pwedeng malaman? Kasi I remember during the hearing, we were made to understand, and we respected that once the cases are filed, and it forms part of public document, then pwede na natin pag-usapan dito yung mga detalye. So that the public will understand what government is doing in order to go after people who launder and also prevent this from happening again.
Your Honor, if I may respectfully submit, Your Honor, while we admit that we have already filed a case before the Court of Appeals, which covers all the accounts of Alice Guo, we respectfully submit, Your Honor, that this is still covered by the confidentiality provided under the Anti-Money Laundering Act, Your Honor, specifically Section 8A of the law. So our hands are really...
Up to when can we disclose this to the public?
Your Honor, we were given up to 6 months for the freeze, Your Honor. The rationale behind that, for that 6-month period, is to give the AMLA the opportunity to investigate the account for that time period, because after that, the freeze will be ipso facto lifted. So before that period lapses, in this case, January, we have to file a civil forfeiture, which will cover all of the accounts of Mayor Alice Guo and the other persons mentioned in the freeze order, Your Honor.
Includes not only the expenses, because
No,
alam
yes,
ko yung
yes.
sinasabi nyo yung expenses. Ang gusto namin itong mas malaking...
The totality, Your Honor.
The totality.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, then when do we expect a final result of that investigation in totality?
Your Honor, as I have earlier mentioned, the rationale for giving us 6 months, Your Honor, is for us to complete our investigation within that period, also in 6 months. But we are mindful of the urgency of this case, Your Honor. Our financial investigators are working overtime, even beyond office hours, and even during weekends, Your Honor. We intend to complete our investigation this September, Your Honor. So probably by October, Your Honor, we'll be filing a civil forfeiture case by October, Your Honor.
And if I may, Sen. Sherwin, so by the first week of October, pwede nyo na rin po kaming bigyan ng report about the magnitudes of the amounts involved, hindi lamang dun sa pag-cover ng utilities, pero yung construction ng Baofu compound?
Around that time, Your Honor.
Also, this is only in the case of Bamban. Di pa natin nag-uusapan yung
Yes, Your
Porac,
Honor.
ha? Yung Porac, ganyan rin ang, based on our research, ganyan rin ang nangyayari. So the bigger picture here, actually the bigger crime is money laundering.
Yes, Your Honor, that I completely agree. if I may add, we have observed the same financial behavior in the Porac case, the persons composing that Pogo hub, Your
Correct.
Honor.
Yeah.
In establishing money laundering, Your Honor, we have to prove certain elements. I think everybody's in agreement. Offhand, the money came from illegal source. But if we file a money laundering case, we have to establish elements of the crime. We have to connect it to the existence of an unlawful activity. And that unlawful activity must have proceeds. Our subjects must have knowledge when they transacted the original proceeds and the transactions. So these are the elements, Your Honor, please, that we need to establish in our investigation.
Isn't the concept of the income is not commensurate to the deposits? It's already a criminal aspect.
In this jurisdiction, no, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Paano siya nagkakaroon ng pera na wala siyang pinagkukunan?
That is when the existence of the predicate must be established, Your Honor. So actually, that's the first requirement. We have to establish the existence of a predicate offense. In fact, Your Honor, what were filed was cases of qualified trafficking in persons. But our theory is that it cannot generate this money. The only plausible explanation was that it was from the scamming activities that they have committed. So notwithstanding the absence of such crime being filed in Philippine courts or in DOJ, Your Honor, we opted to use that as a predicate offense.
We understand. And in the case of Porac, how far are we in the investigation?
If I may, before you answer, Attorney, if I may, Sen. Sherwin, also make off record na the Chair appreciates also this line of questioning equally, if not more, for our ongoing investigation in the Committee on Women. So, salamat. Just for the record.
We have a twin investigation on Bamban and Porac. So, how far are we in investigating the Porac money laundering angle?
For the Porac case, Your Honor, the investigation report on the forfeiture of the Whirlwind, where the Whirlwind is located, was already submitted. It's already being reviewed by the bosses, Your Honor. For the bank inquiry and freeze order, in fact, I was just reviewing this morning. We'll finish it by not later than tomorrow, Your Honor. So we're looking at next week that the cases will be filed for bank inquiry and freeze order.
And, you can share that through an executive session.
Yes, Your Honor, just like in the Bamban case, Your Honor.
Okay, and then we will request the good chairperson to invite you for an executive session so we can understand that.
We will do that, Sen. Sherwin.
Thank you. So ganito na lang. The timetable is mid-September to October in terms of the Bamban finalization of investigation. Tama ba, Attorney? October.
Please,
Tumawad ka pa. No? October. First week of October.
Maybe second week would be more realistic.
Humaba na. Yeah. So let's put it at second week of October. No? And like I said, no, it's important for the public. It's not only for the consumption of the committee, but important din sa publiko at malaman din ng ibang international organizations na yung ganitong pera pumapasok sa atin, because this forms part of what we call the transnational criminal activities. No? So hindi lang natin kausap ito sarili natin, kundi kausap rin natin mga ibang bansa. No? Dahil yung pera pumapasok galing sa iba. No? So importante rin na nalalaman ng mga counterparts natin na may perang gumagalaw at pumapasok, lumalabas, pumupunta sa ibang lugar. No? So ayun ang aking punto. Na importante rin na nalalaman nila na mayroong ganitong kalaking pera. No? Hindi ito hundreds of millions but billions. In fact, in Porac, it's almost equal amount. No? Billions rin ang pumapasok. But I'll leave it at that and I'll wait for Ms. Cassandra when she joins us here to discuss all of those matters. So by second week of October, pwede na natin pag-usapan dito yan sa committee.
Yes, Your Honor. Surely, this October we'll finish our investigation. It's just have to go to some process in our office, and it will be filed by first half of
And then we
October.
can talk about it here in the committee.
In totality, Your Honor.
In totality.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that, Attorney Harpon. I'll go to...
Madam Chair, if I may, just to
Sen. Joel.
continue with the AMLA's investigation. First of all, Madam Chair, at the onset, may I place on record how much we appreciate the work that AMLA's been doing. And kay attorney, kitang-kita naman na talagang gusto niyang mag-perform at masagot lahat ng tanong natin. Ang na-appreciate ko yung binanggit ni attorney na itong 87 counts na ito, kasi nababalita kasi na itong 87 counts ay nanggaling doon sa umaabot na 7 billion na kabuuang halaga nitong nakaraang Biyernes na final ng AMLA. Yun yung kasi naging report, attorney. Kaya I really think na maganda talaga itong nagyayari ngayong araw na ito dahil nakaklarify natin na hindi po yun yung basihan ng 87 counts. At yung 87 counts na yun, panimula pa lang, Madam Chair, kaya magandang maintindihan din ni Ms. Sheila, Madam Chair, yung sinasabi niyo sa 87 counts, 500 years na, panimula pa lang ito, Madam Chair. At money laundering pa lang yung pinag-uusapan po dito, Madam Chair. Ngayon, Madam Chair, let me ask our representative from AMLA, binanggit niyo po kanina parang since 2019 maaaring maaga pa nga dito yung possibility na nagaganap itong mga money laundering activities. Ang question ko lang, kailan niyo po nakita na di ba sa ating batas ng money laundering, Anti-Money Laundering Act, if I'm not mistaken, tayo, Senator Riza, we're together in the House when we passed this measure. Every time na merong kang 500,000 na transaksyon at nagiging ano nga tawag dun sa word hindi scandalous, suspicious transactions, ini-report na po ito, no? Itong 500,000. So, ang question ko nga po, if nung narinig ko kanina yung 2019, probably even earlier, kailan natin nakita itong paggalaw ng hindi maayos na paggalaw ng salapi mula po dito sa mga kumpanyang ito?
Yes, Attorney.
Yes, Your Honor. We have received in 2019, and that is the only suspicious transaction report that we received from a certain covered person. The tenor of the report was that the person involved was not able to present documents to substantiate the transactions. So that is the only report that we have received until the news broke out on Pogo, Your Honor. So
From 2019 until this 2024 na?
yes, Your Honor, that is the only suspicious transaction report that we have received. While we have received said report and it's considered as suspicious, Your Honor, it did not really result to an investigation because we are at a bind because there is no predicate offense to connect it with. That is a usual suspicious transaction report that we receive. And if it's just on the ground that it's not commensurate, then we cannot go to court, Your Honors, because we have to link that to a predicate offense. But we are looking at the possible compliance issues of covered person because of possible failure to report STRs, Your Honor. Because as we have noted, Your Honor, the declared source of income is not commensurate. It's grossly disproportionate to the transactions had by the subjects, Your Honor.
Are there any possibility, for example, when you get these reports and you're saying na, yeah, it doesn't fall in the money laundering activities, pero suspicious na, etc., you can give it to any other government agencies to look into this. But can you imagine, Madam Chair, 2019 tapos 2024? I mean, in that span of time na nangyayari ito, Wala po bang ganun na na kapangyarihan o at least SOP on your part to give it to another government agency to push through with the investigation, sir?
Sir, the AMLAC is in close coordination with our law enforcement counterparts, PDEA, NBI, PNP. And the reason for that is that because we need to establish the predicate offenses. And we have a mechanism to share information. So if we receive suspicious transaction, then we have a facility to share information. In fact, it's done, I cannot disclose how we do it, but it's done very fast, Your Honor.
So it means to say, Your Honor, that the police authorities are aware of this, na since 2019, meron ng ganitong information.
Might not be competent to address that.
Yeah, but I think it's obvious, Madam Chair, that they're aware because they're part of this. I just wanted to place on record, Madam Chair, yung complaint po ng AMLA, no? It states here, and I quote, Alice Guo and her cohorts intended to create layers and layers of corporations to make it appear that they were engaged in profitable and legitimate businesses. But in fact, they are not. So, itong statement na ito, parang klaro na sa inyo, well, took some time, and at the same time, let me point out, Madam Chair, that at this point in time, we remain in the gray list pagdating po dito sa mga huge transaction costs na experience ng ating OFWs and the multinationals. So, with that, Madam Chair, may I pose this question to AMLA? Perhaps the question is, what are we currently doing in the gray list of the Financial Action Task Force? Ano po yung actions that we can learn from this? What should we be doing to get us out of this? Because if I recall it right, Madam Chair, tayo na lang po yung ilan na lang po ba itong nasa gray list? Parang embarrassing na po na konting-konti na lang yung countries na nasa gray list. Pag nasa gray list po tayo, yung transaction cost ng ating mga OFWs, mga multinationals, lumalaki po. And because of this, yung every time may magpapadala ng salapi to and from the Philippines, nagkakaroon ng utmost scrutiny, Madam Chair. No? So, nagkakaroon ng delay din minsan in transferring the funds, hindi real time. So, ito lang yung concern natin, no? As we are talking about the efficiency of our AMLA, and at the same time, when it comes to legislation, meron ba kaming pwede pang gawin para makatulong po dito, Your Honor?
Briefly, please, Attorney Arpon, and then we'll return to Sen. Sherwin.
Your Honor, with respect to the Philippines being in the gray list, that is correct, Your Honor. And at present, there are only 3 action items left for the Philippines to address for us to escape the gray list. And we have addressed all of those 3, Your Honor. And we are very optimistic that we'll be able to get out of the gray list. As regards legislation, my pay grade might not be my pay grade.
No, that's a serious question, Attorney, kasi sa recommendations ng committee report, since this is in aid of legislation, in case meron na pong namumuong rekomendasyon na ang council.
I'll confer with the bosses first, Your Honor, and I'll get back to you.
One last po, so who's monitoring your performance ng AMLA? The performance of AMLA in BSP or DOF?
No, we are BSP employees, but there is a separate law creating the Anti-Money Laundering Council, Your Honor.
Yes, and you submit reports to Congress quarterly, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
I'm sure we do submit reports, Your Honor.
To Congress?
Yes.
Is it quarterly?
Not aware, Your Honor.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator Win.
Salamat, Sen. Joel. This is actually a very good case for AMLAC to lead removing our country from the gray list. Salamat, Sen. Joel. Yes,
if I may,
you have the floor.
as regards to legislation, ma'am,
Yes.
you mentioned
Attorney.
perhaps if we can legislate that we don't have to establish it if if it clearly appears that the money is from legitimate source, we can have it forfeited, we can file money laundering case, and then that will make our jobs a lot easier, Your Honor.
You mean if they're clearly from illegitimate sources?
Yes.
Okay po, we will take that under consideration na po for the recommendations ng committee report. And actually, nung sinabi nyo rin, before I turn back to Sen. Sherwin, na you had to establish pa predicate crimes, naisip ko na, well, at least that's another way the Senate has been useful, I believe. Kasi yung earlier investigations ng committees on labor, economic affairs, women, and now also the justice and human rights, I suppose has been useful din sa AMLA to make your case about money laundering in the first place. Pero salamat dun sa rekomendasyon nyo about remedial legislation. Back to you, Sen. Sherwin.
Thank you. Thank you. Attorney Arpon, you said that dapat ma-prove muna yung predicate crime. No? Ibig sabihin may krimen muna. Yung pera nang galing sa krimen, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. We have to establish the existence of a predicate offense, but it is not a requirement under the law that there must be a case, much less a conviction on the predicate offense, Your Honor, because money laundering is independent. But what we do have to establish is that there is a predicate offense and that the money that we are investigating is the proceeds of the predicate offense, Your Honor.
Itong pagpasok ng pera na suspicious and unjustifiable, di ba red flag na ito?
It is a red flag, Your Honor. It is a suspicious transaction.
Oo, so suspicious transaction na siya, red flag na siya, pero umabot pa ng 4 na taon. Tsaka tuloy-tuloy siya, di ba? From 2019, pinakita nga namin, from 2019, 2020, 2020, tuloy-tuloy siya.
Yes, Your Honor.
We might not, hindi nyo siguro na-establish yung predicate offense, pero definitely unjustifiable yung pagpasok ng pera dito. Lalo na, hindi siya tugma doon sa negosyo at kita nila Alice Guo.
Well, Your Honor, the tenor of the report was that the contracting party was not able to present the document. Allegedly, it was about sale of land, but Your Honor, the transactions themselves would raise red flags already, Your Honor, because it's not commensurate with the declared source of income, basing it on the capital, Your Honor. And
that's why ang question is, lumabas lang to during the hearings when our chairperson conducted the hearings. Kung hindi pa ito lumabas sa hearings, then there's no investigation that will happen. So tuloy-tuloy lang pumapasok yung pera na hindi na-imbestigahan. Dahil yung sources hindi nagtutugma doon sa kanilang kita. Hindi ba dapat pag pumasok, for example, millions pumapasok every month. Alam ko, hindi mo masabi, but every month pumapasok siya millions in cash. Hindi ba dapat imbestigahan na natin kaagad to? Bakit umabot pa ng 4-5 taon bago, at dahil nga sa investigation, kaya tinignan natin to?
Your Honor, the report is a subject of intelligence information, Your Honor. But if we go to investigation, Your Honor, we can't really proceed in the absence of a predicate offense, which at that time was not yet established, Your Honor.
Correct.
It's just part of
but
the
you also
intelligence.
said there's only one suspicious transaction reported?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the span of 5 years?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
And that 6.1 billion came in? So ibig sabihin, puro 500,000 lang deposit nila?
It can be more than 500,000.
Correct. So
but it
pag
was,
more than 500, is suspicious, di ba?
it's a covered transaction report.
Kailan siya magiging suspicious?
There are certain parameters under the law to be considered as suspicious. There is no underlying legal or trade obligation or economic justification.
Correct.
There
So,
is structuring.
so Alice Guo, palabas nga, Alice Guo companies, they're not making money. Diba? Alice Guo herself, wala siyang income na pinagkukunan. Diba? And yet, nagde-deposit sa QJJ Farms, sa QJJ Embroidery, o personal, millions. Hindi ba suspicious yun?
It should have been reported by covered persons as suspicious transaction.
Correct. How
Your
come
Honor.
it was not reported?
Your Honor, our office is looking into the compliance issue of this case by
Who are
covered
these
persons.
covered persons?
banks, Your Honor.
The banks. So dapat rini-report to ng mga bangko, di ba? I'll show the Carla, yung financial statement ng farm. But anyways, so dapat rini-report ng bangko to. Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kasi pag nag-deposit ka ng 10 million, sasabihin ng, ito, I'll show you. Hindi, that's 2008 onwards. So pag nag-deposit siya sa bangko, sasabihin niya saan galing yung pera, sasabihin niya dividendo, how can they have dividendo kung ang kanilang mga corporations hindi naman kumikita? I'll show you. Yeah, for example, ito, ang kanilang stockholders' equity is only 1.6 million. Diba? Assets niya, 1.6 million lang. Diba? So, kung may pumapasok na millions of cash, dapat nagre-reflect sa cash balance. Correct? So, ang punto lang namin, ang punto namin, Senator Joe, bakit umabot pa ng 4 years, 5 years, bago na imbestigahan? So that's the point.
To be candid, it was only when the news broke out, Your
Correct.
Honor, on this
Correct.
Pogo.
That's the point here. Kung hindi pa na raid o hindi pa na tuloy-tuloy lang yung pagpasok ng pera. So, and the bank should have reported that these are suspicious transactions because the financial statements don't reflect the proceeds. Tama?
It is not justified by the
Correct.
declared, yes.
It's not justified.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, by that alone, my question is, bakit nga umabot ng ganong kahaba pa?
Your Honor, with respect to the suspicious transaction report filed way back in 2019, Your Honor, there is no predicate offense mentioned in the report. So it only formed part of our intelligence information, our database. But to be frank, Your Honor, we cannot proceed with the
So, ibig
filing
sabihin,
of case.
walang nagre-report ng suspicious transaction?
There was only one, Your
Oo nga,
Honor.
but
Yes.
along the way, walang nagre-report? Walang bangko nagre-report?
None, Your Honor.
So, possible ba na kasama rin yung mga bangko sa kanilang illegal operation? May cover up?
What we're looking into our office, that is, Your Honor, is the compliance of covered persons, Your Honor.
Like for example, this one, QJJ Farm. Ang kanyang revenue is only 12 million. Ang kanyang net income is lugi. Diba? But alam ko, pumasok dyan millions. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, so how can that be? Hindi millions ang pumasok dito, billions. Tama?
Hundreds of millions, yes, Your Honor.
Hundreds of millions ang pumasok. So pumasok sa account niya hundreds of millions, income statement niya lugi. Dapat nagtanong yung bangko saan galing yung kita. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So kung may compliance report, that means kung may compliance issue, that means the banks are not complying.
That is something that our office is looking into right now, Your Honor.
Okay. And when do we get that report? Because I plan to also file a resolution to investigate itong compliance issue. Because if the banks will not comply, obviously this will just go on and go on. Diba?
I'll confer with the bosses, Your Honor, and we'll submit a report to this honorable committee, Your Honor.
Okay. Will that form part of that investigation that you are conducting, that compliance report?
There's a separate group in our office, Your Honor, handling compliance issues by uncovered persons, Your Honor.
Okay. And then when can we have that report on compliance?
Your Honor, as regards the investigation on the compliance aspect, Your Honor, we'll submit a report to this office, Your Honor, on when, or the report itself, or when we can submit.
Can
the
we
report.
have that when? October? Second week of October again?
We'll apprise this honorable committee, Your Honor, by tomorrow, Your Honor.
Sige, just give us a timetable because that's the point of Senator Joel. And we're making a point that if the banks complied, then this will be nip in the bud. No? Maaga natin madidetect to eh. No? Pero hindi nga nagko-comply kaya umabot ng ganito kahaba. Diba? And that's why I want to actually connect that to the amount that is coming in, no? Which you cannot disclose for now because the investigation is still ongoing. And we respect that. No, we respect that. So, but that's the point we're making. I hope that AMLAC takes note of that, and in the next hearings, especially after October 2, hingi kami ng disclosure on those amounts.
Madam Chair, no, may I just place into the records?
Yes, Sen. Joel, before we go back to Sen. JV
I'm
with
looking at
PAOC.
the Anti-Money Laundering Act, IRR. Among the suspicious transactions listed under this law, sa IRR po nakalagay, taking into account all known circumstances. It may be perceived that the client's transaction is structured in order to avoid being the subject of reporting requirements under the Act. Kaya klaro nga po, yung binabanggit natin ni Senator Win, ang tagal nang nangyari, pero it took some time bago natin ma-realize na may kalokohang nangyayari. Kung ang aasahan lang po natin ay may magre-report, Madam Chair, wala na pong mangyayari sa atin. Kung ang NBI, ang DOJ, ang BI, etc., aasa na lang sa report na babanggitin dito sa Senado, wala po. Magiging baliwala po yung ginagawa nila. And that's why, Madam Chair, I'm pounding on the performance of AMLA because it's unacceptable for the Filipino people to say na, ito nga, 2019 may nag-report na, but there was no follow-up. Ito nga, suspicious na yung mga transactions nito mga kumpanya na ito. Ang liliit ng kita, pero billion-billion, isang lugar lang papatayuan ng mga buildings. Madam Chair, nung hinuli si Alice Guo, kitang-kita. Kami ni Senator Sherwin and Senator JV nag-uusap. Pinignan ho namin lahat ng news. CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, at kung ano-ano pang lahat, no? Nandun lahat. So tinitingnan po tayo ng buong international community at babanggitin ko ulit, tayo ay patuloy na nandoon sa gray list. Kung hindi po natin ito ma-address at ipakita rin sa mundo that we are dead serious in addressing this particular issue, hindi ho maganda sa imahe natin at lalo na dun sa tinatamaan dito sa mga gray list na ito. Salamat, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Sen. Joel. So very well taken yung recommendation ng AMLAC to look at amending the law para hindi na kailangan may predicate crime pa na mapatunayan bago matreat ng AMLAC na kumbaga actionable information or intelligence ang isang pag-red flag ng isang covered or suspicious transaction. So at this, yes, Sen. Sherwin, before, oh, I'm sorry, you're continuing. Oh, I'm so sorry, I thought you were, all right, please continue, Sen. Sherwin.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I'll jump to another topic, and this concerns the Guo family. So gusto ko magtanong kay Sheila. May mga simpleng at basic na tanong lang ako para lang malaman namin kung ano ang naging dahilan kung bakit pumunta dito ang Guo family at paano sila napasok sa mga iba't ibang negosyo. So, unahin ko kung anong year ka pumunta, anong year ka dumating dito sa Pilipinas?
2001 ata.
2001. Sino kasama mo at that time?
Ako lang po.
Ikaw lang mag-isa. At nasabi mo during the last hearing natin na pinapunta ka dito para magtrabaho kay Guo Jiangjong. No?
Kay Daddy.
Tawag mo daddy pero hindi siya
Tunay na tatay.
hindi mo biological father, no? Hindi tunay na tatay. And sino si Lin Wenyi?
Tita ko po.
Asawa ba siya ni Guo Jiangjong?
Partner niya.
Ha?
Partner.
Okay. And si Li Wenyi, nanay ni Alice Guo.
Ang alam ko ang nanay ni Wesley.
Nanay ni Wesley. Si Lin Wenyi.
Opo.
Sino ang nanay ni Alice Guo?
Sabi ni Daddy, isang Pilipino, pero hindi ko kilala.
Sabi niya, isang Pilipino, huwag ka magsisinungaling ha. Dahil meron kaming mga records.
Oh, hindi po.
Ah,
Sabi kasi ni Daddy eh.
sinabi ni Daddy na ang nanay niya ay Pilipino. Okay?
Na isang Pilipino.
Na isang
Sabi ko,
Pilipino.
tanungin
Sino
ko
yun?
kung sino
Sino
yun.
yung Pilipino na
Oh,
yun?
yun ang tanong ko, sabi niya, wala na.
Anong wala
Lati
na?
pa. Maliit pa lang siya, wala na.
Wala na.
Mm.
So sino ang, si Lin Wenyi, ang anak niya si Wesley.
Opo.
Ilan ang anak ni Lin Wenyi?
Tatlo, yung isa nawala sa tiyan niya.
Tatlo, isa nawala sa tiyan niya. Yung isa si Wesley. Yung isa,
Kuya niya.
Kuya
si
niya.
Semen, oh.
si Semen. Nasaan si Semen?
Siguro nasa China po ngayon.
Nasa China siya ngayon.
Siguro po.
Okay. And si Semen is Filipino or Chinese?
Chinese po.
Chinese citizen siya. Si Wesley, Filipino or Chinese?
Filipino.
Filipino siya. Pero alam rin namin na hindi totoo yun.
Opo,
I'm sure alam mo na yun.
may Chinese passport ang ano niyo po.
Si si Wesley ba ngayon may Chinese passport?
Hindi ko nakita, hindi ko sure.
Hindi mo sure?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Nung pumunta ka dito, you were, narinig ko during the last hearing, 16 years old ka, 17 years old?
Mga ganyan po.
Saan ka nag-aral dito?
Wala po.
Hindi ka na nag-aral?
Hindi
ka
po.
na pumasok?
Hindi po.
Nag-aral ka ba sa China?
Opo.
Anong school?
Pwede po hindi ako sagot.
Hindi naman, sa China naman yun.
May
Kahit
kaso na
sabihin
po
mo,
ako kasi ito eh.
hindi, school lang naman yun eh. Nasa China naman yun. Kahit sabihin mo, nasa China naman yun. Pero nag-aral ka doon ng elementary.
Hanggang high school po.
Hanggang high school. College?
Hindi po.
Hindi ka nag-aral ng college. Okay. Si Alice, saan nag-aral?
Hindi ko po alam.
Hindi mo alam saan nag-aaral si Alice?
Hindi po.
Nag-aral ba siya?
Hindi ko sure kasi ang alam ko meron siya homeschool. Kumaka sa bahay yata.
Alam namin, meron din kaming ebidensya, hindi siya homeschool.
Hindi ko po alam.
Kaya huwag ka magsisinungaling.
Hindi ko po alam, sir.
Alam namin lahat, meron kaming dokumento, huwag kang magsisinungaling. Huwag kang susunod sa kwento ni Alice kasi alam namin may mga dokumento kami dito. So ang tanong ko, nag-aral ba siya o hindi?
Hindi ko po alam.
Ngayon hindi mo na alam.
Hindi ko po
Nag-homeschool
sure.
siya o hindi?
Hindi ko sure pero ang alam ko may homeschool siya. Pero hindi ko nakita.
Hindi mo,
Kasi 16, nandito ako, malaki na siya eh.
pero tawag mo sa kanya ate, di ba?
Siya,
tawag
hindi
mo sa-
ako ang ate po.
Tawag niya sa iyo ate, no? Anong tawag mo sa kanya?
Alice po.
Alice, hindi Shobe or
Hindi po.
Hindi ganoon. Okay. Alright. And then itong si Guo Jiangjong. Si Guo Jiangjong nung pumunta dito, ano ang negosyo niya?
Ang pupunta ako dito, meron na sila embroidery tsaka farm.
Embroidery and farm.
Opo.
Nasaan yung embroidery and farm?
Yung una lating ko nasa Manitawag.
Nasa Balintawak.
Opo.
In farm,
Nasa Tarlac. Bamban po.
nasa Tarlac. At
Bamban.
ikaw, saan ka nagtrabaho? Sa Balintawak.
Opo.
Sa Balintawak ka nagtrabaho.
Sa embroidery po.
Okay. And then, anong negosyo nila sa China?
Ang alam ko, meron din embroidery sa China.
Mayroon rin siyang embroidery sa China.
Mm-mm.
Meron rin siyang farming sa China?
Ano?
Meron ba siyang farm sa China?
Wala po.
Wala.
Ang alam ko, wala.
So, embroidery lang ang negosyo
Embroidery tsaka tela.
niya. Nasaan na ngayon si Guo Jiangjong?
Baka sa China, hindi ko sure.
Nasa China siya ngayon?
Siguro po.
Hindi ba kayo nagkita sa Singapore?
Kita.
Nagkita kayo sa Singapore. Si Lin Wenyi, nagkita kayo sa Singapore?
Opo.
Yung ba yung time na nagkita-kita kayo doon? I think that was July 18, tama ba? No? Nag-reunion kayo sa Singapore?
Opo.
Then after that, saan sila pumunta?
Uwi na sila sabi, pero hindi ko alam kung saan sila uwi.
Naghiwalay-hiwalay na kayo.
Opo.
Okay. Ano ang negosyo ni, aside from embroidery, may iba pa siyang negosyo sa China?
Wala siguro. Hindi ko sure.
Connected ba siya sa Chinese government, si Guo Jiangjong?
Hindi ko alam. Hindi siguro po.
Hindi mo alam. Connected ba siya sa Chinese Communist Party sa China?
Hindi ko maintindihan po.
Konektado ba siya sa Chinese Communist Party? Chinese Communist Party? Konektado ba siya doon?
Ano po yung Chinese na
'Di ba sa China may party, 'di ba? Yung Communist Party.
party?
Oo.
May kaibigan siya. Hindi ko alam kung anong klase party ang sabi niyo po.
Pero konektado ba siya doon sa Communist Party
Hindi ko
ng
alam.
China? Nung pumunta ka dito, nagtrabaho ka sa embroidery, and then sinasabi mo may farm. At nakita rin namin na si Alice pumasok sa maraming negosyo. Diba? Saan niya nakuha yung pera niya?
Sa business siguro po.
Sa business, anong business yung pinagkukuha? Kaya narinig mo naman kanina, no? Maraming pumapasok na pera sa kanya. Nakita rin namin, nakabili siya ng helicopter. Yung kanyang salin, 200 million. No? So, nanggaling siya sa China. Diba? Embroidery negosyo niya, pero hindi namin makita sa financial statements. Yung kita, pinakita kanina, lugi pa nga yung farm. So, saan niya nakuha yung pera niya?
Hindi ko po alam.
Hindi mo alam kung saan niya nakuha yung pera.
Hindi ko po
Pero
alam.
pinakita ko rin last time sa iyo na treasurer ka ng kumpanya. No? At CFO ka ng kumpanya. At meron ding corporate secretary ka ng kumpanya. So, ibig sabihin, yung position mo sa mga kumpanya matataas.
Hindi ko alam.
Nasabi ba sa'yo ni Alice saan niya kinukuha yung pera niya?
Hindi po. Hindi ko alam po.
Hindi mo alam kung saan niya kinukuha. Pinapaperma ka lang ng mga dokumento.
Opo.
Okay. Ba't ka naman pumiperma pag hindi mo alam?
May tanong kasi ako. Ang sabi niya use ng sa business. Business.
Yun lang
Yun lang
sinasabi
po.
niya. Okay. And then kanina, natanong rin ng ating chairperson na meron kang aqua farm sa Suwal. No? At nasabi mo kanina, hindi ka pa nakapunta sa Suwal?
Hindi pa po.
Ulitin ko, nakapunta ka na ba sa Suwal o hindi
Hindi
pa?
pa po.
Oh. Bakit meron kang aqua farm doon?
Hindi ko po alam eh.
Hindi mo alam na may aqua farm ka sa
Opo.
Suwal?
Opo. May farm kami pero sa malapit sa may Tarlac. May farm kami doon.
Eh, ang pangalan
Sa
nitong
isang
farm,
lugar.
we'll flash it. Ang pangalan nitong farm is Alice Aqua Farm.
Hindi po. Ang alam ko ng farm, hindi yan pangalan po.
Aqua Farm, hindi pangalan?
Hindi po.
Okay. Alam mo kung bakit Alicel, anong ibig sabihin ng Alicel?
Hindi ko po alam.
Hindi mo rin alam kung anong...
Hindi po.
Okay. Kasi may nagsabi sa amin na yung Alicel is short for Alice Guo at Liseldo Kalugay.
Ay, hindi ko po alam.
Hindi mo ba alam kung gano'n
Hindi po.
ano? Tatanungin ko sana sa'yo kung alam mo. Pagka ikaw yung business owner, nakita mo, business owner, Sheila Lial Guo.
Hindi ko po alam to.
Hindi mo alam to. Again, huwag kang magsinungaling ha, dahil
Opo.
malalaman rin namin yan
Opo.
sa dulo. Si Wesley Guo, ano ang kanyang trabaho sa mga kumpanya?
Ang alam ko, tumulong siya sa farm.
Tumutulong siya sa farm. Sa which farm ito?
Sa QJJ po.
Sa QJJ.
Tsaka yung pag mayroon iba, tulong-tulong po siya.
Ang QJJ nasaan ulit? Ang QJJ nasaan ulit?
Sa Bamban po.
Sa Bamban. Okay. So doon siya tumutulong.
Opo.
At ano ang trabaho niya? Ano exactly ang trabaho
Yung
niya?
exact na mismo trabaho, hindi ko sure. Kasi tumulong lang siya doon. Ang alam ko. Iba-iba siguro.
Iba-iba.
O, palang wala siya yung exact trabaho kung ano ba sa tulong-tulong lang po siya.
Okay. Okay. Hindi ba siya kasama sa mga, kasi kung nakita namin na kasama rin siya sa mga negosyo, hindi ba siya malaki ang kanyang responsibility sa negosyo?
Hindi ko po alam.
Hindi mo ba natanong kay Alice kung paano niya nabili helicopter niya?
Hindi po.
Nakasakay ka na dun sa helicopter niya?
Opo.
Ilang beses?
Isa o dalawa?
Sa yung dalawa. Hindi mo siya natanong bakit saan niya nakuha yung pera niya to buy a helicopter?
Hindi po.
Hindi niya nasabi sa'yo?
Hindi niya ako tanong. Ayaw ko malami alam.
Alright. Sana magsabi ka ng totoo dahil malalaman rin namin to, malalaman rin namin eventually to, at nasabi nga namin nung huling hearing at ngayon na pag hindi ka magsabi ng totoo, mafa-filean ka ng kaso, no? At mas mahirap makaalis pag na-filean ka ng kaso. Alright. I'll go to
Sen. Sherwin, bago natin, bago nyo iwan si Ms. Sheila. Ms. Sheila, naalala ko lang yung isang sinabi ni Sen. Sherwin nung nakaraang hearing. Pumirma ka ng 96 or 97 times sa mga financial documents. So talagang nakalagay dun yung pangalan mo at yung pirma mo sa mga dokumentong iyon. Kung ginawa mo yun dahil sumusunod lang sa sinabi ni Alice, pag-isipan mo talaga kung gusto mong pagbayarin yan sa loob ng 600 or 1,200 years dahil sa ganyang sitwasyon mo, ikaw lang napapahamak. Pag-isipan mong mabuti. Salamat, Sen. Sherwin.
Thank you. Sheila, may nakita ko sa notes ko, no? Ito bang nasabi mo kanina, natanong ng ating chairperson, si Mayor Kalugay, ay nakilala mo na siya, na-meet mo na siya? Ano ang relasyon niya kay Alice?
Ang tanong ko sa kanya, sabi niya kaibigan po.
Kaibigan? Wala ba silang boyfriend-girlfriend relationship?
Sabi hindi.
Sabi Nino?
Di Alice.
Sabi ni Alice, hindi. Okay. So, hindi mo, ilang beses mo na-meet itong si Mayor Kalugay?
Dalawa o tatlo, mga ganyan.
Dalawa, tatlo lang. Okay.
Kasi nasa embroidery lang po talaga ako.
Nasa embroidery ka lang. Okay. At sumasama ka lang pag bumabiyahe si Alice?
Opo.
Saan ba kayo pumupunta?
Minsan, pag may travel.
Travel?
Opo.
Ano yun? Bakasyon? Ganyan?
Mga ganyan.
Okay. Alright. Sige. Okay. With the permission of the chair, I'll just jump to a few topics. Mr. And andito yung kaap, no? I want to flash a document on the slide, on the screen. Nakakuha kami ng, and I thank kaap for answering some of our queries. Nakakuha kami ng, ito natanong rin ni Senator JV, no? May mga, nakakuha kami ng document, paki-flight. Ha? Mga chartered flights from Manila to, this one is from Manila to Indonesia, at from May 21, kasi ang last sighting namin dito kay Alice is May 22. So we requested for documents after May 22 onwards. So ito yung mga flights na pumasok from different, lumabas, no? From different parts, different airports of the country. Ito, nakita natin from Manila, from Davao, papuntang Jakarta, papuntang Manado. Manado, I believe it's in Malaysia. And then, iba-iba yan, no? And then also, in the next slide, different airports in the country going to Malaysia naman, no? Ano yung kanina pala? Indonesia? Sorry, the ones earlier is Indonesia. So Manado is in Indonesia, no? And then the following is different parts of the country to Malaysia. No, ang tanong ko sa CAAP, no, before lumalabas ang eroplano, I think si Senator JV also propounded on this. Nagfa-file sila sa inyo ng flight plan and also tama ba, flight permit or request to request to approve that flight plan?
Yes,
Ano
Your
ba
Honor.
ang process?
Your Honor, the process is they secure a flight plan and flight permit from CAAP, Mr. Chair. As a requirement, Mr. Chair, we require them to submit CIQ clearance and PNP ABCU clearance, Mr. Chair.
Nagsasubmit sila yung manifest, yung mga taong nasa loob.
Your Honor, that's also part of the flight plan submitted.
Kasama yan sa flight plan. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sinasubmit yan sa CAAP, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And based on your investigation of all of these flights, wala kayong nakitang Guo, Huaping, or Alice Guo. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And these are the flights that you checked? Can you confirm?
That should be included in the flights that were checked. The instruction was for us to check all the flights dating to May 2024.
Okay. Pero nung sinasubmit sa inyo yung flight manifest, no? Especially for international flights, bago siya lumipad, no? These are chartered flights, ha? These are private planes, chartered flights. Bago siya lumipad, sino ang nag-check or sino ang nag-validate na yung nasa manifest at yung nasa eroplano ay nandoon nga? Sino yung physically na sumasampa ng eroplano?
Per procedure, Your Honor, that should be the PNP ABCU, Your Honor.
PNP
ABCU.
ABCU.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then sila na rin ba ang, kasi kung international to, dapat tatakan yung passport, di ba?
That will be done with the CAQ po.
Sa ano yan? Sa
The immigration.
Sa immigration.
Customs immigration
Okay.
and
Saan
quarantine.
ginagawa yung immigration? Saan ginagawa yon? On board the plane or bababa yung pasahero? For private, we're just talking about private.
I'm not sure, Your Honor, the physical procedure, but as I understand, that's before they board the aircraft.
Before they board the aircraft.
Maybe we can see clarification.
Yeah, can I request BI to clarify? Saan sine-check yung mga pasahero?
Mr. Manahan.
Yes, good afternoon again, Madam Chairperson, Your Honors. As a procedure and as a practice, Your Honors, yung immigration po nabibigyan po ng flight or CAP manifest a few days before the arrival or departure of any commercial or chartered flights. So, maghihintay po yung mga immigration officers para sunduin po ng ground handler. Tapos itatransport po sila sa private or chartered flight where the plane is parked. So, pagka dumating na po yung mga passengers, Your Honors, before sila mag-enter sa loob ng aircraft, chine-check na po ng immigration yon to check if the travel document or the passport is the same as the person presenting it. Tapos bine-verify na ho yun. Initially, bine-verify na ho yun kung may derogatory. And then the final check, there will be another derogatory check. And of course, the stamping of the passport, Your Honors.
Pero kung ang flight plan, hindi i-declare yung pasahero, assuming hindi i-declare, kulang-kulang o hindi talaga dineclare, sino ang makakaalam niyan? Kasi in the eyes of BI, walang pasahero, di ba? So, ang binigayan ngayon sa CAAP, di ba, na walang pasahero. Pero in actuality, may pasahero. So, sino makakaalam niyan?
Through the chair. Your Honor, insofar as CAAP is concerned, we rely completely on the documentation that's submitted. So we only really do the completeness of the documentation, Mr. Chair.
Correct. So, it's honesty system.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Tama? Yung pagbigay sa inyo, honesty system. For example, binigay sa inyo, piloto lang at co-pilot, pero meron palang mga pasahero. who will now validate kung may pasahero talaga o wala doon sa eroplano?
Through the Chair, the CAP has no means of validating whether there are in fact absent anything stated in the documents submitted, Mr. Chair. So that would be really within the jurisdiction of the CIQ and the PNP-FCU, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, but they will only be flagged because of yung flight manifest, di ba? Eh kung sa flight manifest wala ngang pasahero,
May I refer the question maybe to PNP because they do the physical checking of the aircraft before it takes off.
can we request, I don't know if PNP, this is the right group who can,
Madam Chair, Your Honors, just to be accurate, we will probably refer this to the operations manual and the procedures of the aviation security group, Your Honor. Just to be accurate about these processes, Your Honor.
no, because itong mga flights na ito, honesty system to eh. Di ba? When they file the flight manifest, of course the flight plan is, ano naman yan, black and white. But the manifest, they can either not declare kung sino yung mga nandoon, di ba? Bawasan nila, ibahin nila yung pangalan, or plain and simple, hindi nila isulat. And then, if that is the case, ang BI naman, hindi sila ma-alerto dahil walang, unless yung mga pilot lang siguro, di ba? O may presumption of regularity. So who now determines kung may pasahero sa loob o wala? Because these are private planes eh. They don't pass through the normal channels. So right now, it's only the PNP, the Aviation Security Group, who has the power to say whether that person is really there o wala yung taong yon, di ba? And is there any document that the PNP executes na wala talagang tao doon o meron?
Mr. Chair,
How do you validate the flight manifest and the actual on the ground inspection?
yes, Your Honor. As part of the requirements, the documentary requirements for the flight plan, we require the PNP-FCU clearance. So even before they apply for the flight plan, there's already a clearance from CIQ and the PNP-FCU on whether there's passengers to be boarded, and then there's going to be a final check before the flight by the PNP-FCU as well.
Na-check nyo yun, yung mga na-validate ng PNP?
Yes, without the clearances, Your Honor, we will not be approving the flight plans.
So the ones, yung sinabi nyo na wala doon sila, Alice Guo, Go Hopping Alice Guo, may flight clearance yan from the PNP?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Na-validate nila yan?
Yes, Your Honor. Based on the documents submitted, the individual's name were not reflected in the clearances submitted.
Just submit to us the details of this plan. So, and we want to also know sino yung mga nagbigay ng flight clearance, no? Which we want to know exactly sino yung taong nagbigay ng mga flight clearance nito.
All right, Your Honor. We will submit, Your Honor.
Because what we're saying is a PNP personnel, tama ba, boards the plane, checks the passengers, and then certifies or clears kung tama yung kanilang final at tama yung nasa loob. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So give us the details kung sino yung mga nagbigay ng clearance. Ano yung mga pangalan?
Yes, we can submit, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. For now, Madam Chairperson, I will yield, and I know that there will be another hearing on the Porac issue, so we'll reserve that for the next hearing.
Salamat, Sen. Sherwin. And before we go back to Sen. JV for continuation of his questioning sa PAOC, and then last but not the least kay Sen. Joel, Mr. Manahan, you wanted to interject on this last question?
Additional information lang po, okay?
Yes.
Para dun sa concern ho ni Senator Gatchalian.
Yes.
As a procedure and practice din po, yung immigration officer na in charge po doon sa chartered flight, umaakyat din po sa loob sa inside ng plane to check if there's a stowaway or there's a not manifested na mga passengers po doon. So, making sure na lang ang aakyat po is the only manifested passengers to be on board sa plane.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
So, Mr. Manahan, last touch dyan, kayo at ang PNP, right? sa passengers ng chartered or private flights. Correct po?
CIQ po, Madam Chairperson.
Sorry?
Customs, Immigration, and Quarantine,
Okay.
Madam Chairperson.
So kayong tatlo ang last touch. So kayong tatlo yung babalikan din namin on this question. Salamat. Lastly for BI, before back to Sen JV, pwede po bang humingi yung subcommittee namin ng real-time update dun sa pagpapabalik kay Alice Guo?
Yes po, Madam Chairperson.
Do you have anything for us at this point, this afternoon?
The update po regarding...
Yes,
the
any real-time update regarding her arrival back here in the Philippines?
Based, Madam Chairperson, based doon sa passport copies and the pages shared from the ground, there's no departure stamp affixed on any pages of the passport of Alice Guo.
Right, sir. But I mean, yung kanyang pagbalik dito ngayon sa Pilipinas from her arrest in Indonesia, may any real-time update ba kayo para sa amin on that?
Wala pa naman po, pero as far as the carrier that will na magta-transport po kay Alice Guo, nagmi-meeting po sila ngayon, all the government officials there, from the DILG, NBI, BI, and PNP po.
Okay, good. Is there already a Philippine carrier there on standby to bring her back to the Philippines?
From the information yesterday po, there's a private plane.
Okay, a private plane, Mr.
Apo.
Manahan. Lastly, on private planes, could we add the request to BI for the details and the names of the BI officers who check private planes or chartered planes?
Yes, Madam Chairperson, we will submit po.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Manahan. So back to you, Sen JV, for continuing questioning of PAOC.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is Director Casio online already?
Director Casio.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, the Honorable Senators. Maraming salamat po. I apologize for the inconvenience. I was mobile in between coordination po. I apologize.
And I hope that this will be the last time because I believe that the committee under Senator Tiberos already sent out the memos, no, for notice of this meeting. And you know very well, Director Casio, that you're very vital in this investigation, no? Siguro tanong ko lang po, unang tanong, Director Casio, tanong ko lang po, no? Yung pong kasi ako'y nakikinig lang po doon sa mga dahil sabi ko nga, kayang-kaya na po ni Senator Tiberos, sila Senator Gatchalian. Kaya lang po nabahala ako doon sa huling hearing na kung saan halos pareho yung inyo pong narrative ni Sheila Guo na sila po, do you still stick to that narrative na sila po ay, they used the boats, no? Yung pong small boat, big boat, hanggang Sabah. Do you still stick to that theory or narrative, Director Casio?
Your Honor, up to this point, we cannot definitely say either way po eh. Kasi po yung aming mga leads na natanggap, lahat po vinalidate naman po ng komisyon. In fact, there were 3 leads po, Mr. Honorable Senator Ejercito. 3 leads in relation to 3 different private resorts po na pinuntahan natin. Lahat po nag-negative yung leads na yon. Kaya nga, for any inconvenience that those operations may have caused the private owners of those resorts, we do apologize for the inconvenience that they have caused. But I hope, Your Honor, we cannot apologize that we have to perform legitimate law enforcement functions,
No,
Mr. Honorable
yes,
Senator.
we understand that, Director Casio, no? Kaya lang po kasi nung the last time na nakikinig po ko sa hearing, ang sinabi nyo po, nagpunta pa nga po ang PAOC operatives at ang sa storya nyo, you missed Alice Guo by 1 hour and a half, no? Eh kasi po, kung nakikinig ko kayo kanina dito sa hearing, yung pong Emon Pulo na inyo pong binanggit, wala hong access sa land. So kung sila po ay nagaling sa Porto, sa isang resort, galing sa farm, 5 oras, bakit pupunta pa po sila sa Emon Pulo? Diba? Pumunta po ang PAOC doon, operatives August 2, Pero ang PNP, just confirmed just now, may General Velasco, went there already on August 1. And already confirmed na wala po si Alice Guo ron. Bakit po na kinakailangan gumawa kayo ng istorya, then later on you will recant, and I think that's very reckless. Sa akin po, hindi dahil kakilala ko po ang nakapunta po ang Emon Pulo, but in this process, you are covering the truth, no? Na namamadalang issue eh. Mag-ingat ho tayo. You must remember, Director Casio, ang pangalan ng inyong commission is Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission. The mere name already carries with it responsibility. Presidential kayo, under OP kayo, under kayo ni Presidente. Does it give you the badge to abuse or to do anything you want? Di ba? Dapat mas responsable kayo, di ba? Tama ba, Director Casio?
I agree, Honorable Senator Ercito. And we do accept whatever responsibility that unfortunate trade may have caused both the private resort and their guests. But then again, just as I have stated, sir, we were not aware that another operation was conducted on August 1. The basis of the operation po on August 2 was a mission order of the Bureau of Immigration that was coordinated with us po, na sinuportahan po namin. Opo. So, we were duty-bound, Your Honor, to support the immigration with regards to the mission order.
Madam Chair, with the indulgence of my seatmate, Senator JV.
Sen Joel.
Sir, I would put this on record. You know? I think the last time I saw you, sir, I congratulated you and I wanted to know that we are in full support of PAOC to thresh out the truth and find out the truth. Yung nangyari sa Lapu-Lapu, very commendable, etc. But kanina, before you came in, sir, binanggit ko rin dito, and I wanted to convey the message to the entire PAOC na pag may ganitong pagdinig, siguro naman yung isang tao na pwedeng mag-represent, makapag-represent man lang. Maintindihan namin kung hindi niya alam lahat dahil may budget hearing dun sa Kamara. Pero yung totally, sir, kahit isa, medyo it doesn't sit well with us, especially to this representation. Number two, the only question that I'd like to raise, because this is the time of Senator JV, when did you know, sir, na, because I fully remember the time when you said na you realized that the information and the asset that you were talking to ay hindi nagtutugma o mali yung sinasabi niya. Kailan niyo po na-realize na mali, hindi nagtutugma, hindi relevant yung binabanggit ng asset po ninyo? Gusto ko lang umalaman, sir. Thank you.
Honorable Senator Villanueva, days after the privileged speech of the Honorable Ontiveros, when she presented the timeline in relation to the supposed flight of Go Waping from the Philippines. Because, Your Honor, the timeline that was presented was July 17 and July 18. Go Waping was supposedly out of the country already. The operation to implement the mission order of the Bureau of Immigration was August 2. So 2-3 weeks po, Your Honor, after the supposed flight of Go Waping.
Okay.
So hindi po talaga nagtugma.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So sinasabi niyo po, when Senator Risa made that manifestation on the floor that Alice Guo has left the country, August 19 po yun. Tama po? August 19
Yes, Your
po
Honor.
yun. So August 19, dun niyo po nalaman na mali yung asset ninyo, mali yung information. Pero bakit po binanggit ninyo pa after that day, even during the hearing, itong salitang 1.5 hours late kami? Bakit niyo po kailangan banggitin yun?
Sorry, sir. What I'm trying to say was I recanted the information based on the evidence that were presented during the last hearing. No, nagtutugma-tugma na yung July 17, July 18, and yes, sir.
Sir, uulitin ko lang ha. Sabi niyo po, nalaman ninyo na mali yung asset, mali yung information, hindi relevant, hindi mapapakinabangan at pwede nang ibasura August 19, nung nagsalita po si Senator Risa dito sa Senado, na si Alice Guo wala na. Pero nung hearing po, ang hearing ay ilang araw na makatapos, almost a week yata after, dun nyo po binanggit yun eh. Kaya po, ang point ko lang ho, and I have never been to Emonpolo, ngayon, honestly, natatakot pa akong pumunta ngayon dun dahil sa mga kinreate ninyo na unnecessary hassle, no? Ang sa akin lang, bakit pa kailangan sabihin pa ulit yun, no? Nung nakaraang hearing. And, I can commiserate with Senator JV and the owners of the resort. I'm glad na ngayon nag-apologize po kayo, pero tingin ko lang, kung dapat nalaman nyo na noon, sana hindi na nasabi ho yun, no? Para hindi na lumaki yung danyos na tinamasa noong resort owners and even the resort itself. Thank you, Sen. JV.
Thank you, Sen. Joel. So, Sen. JV,
Likewise,
you have the floor.
siguro, if I may conclude, Madam Chair, hindi po yung sa ano lang, yung sinasabi sa Joel, tama po, nag-damages pinan. But it's more of muddling the issue eh. Hindi naman tayo dapat, let's be careful, Director Casio, na para lang may masabi tayo during the hearing, unverified. Later on, you will recant. That is muddling the issue. And we might be, in the process, you're covering already the truth, nakakatakas yung mga instrumento, yung mga tagang tumulong dito sa kay Alice Guo. You have to be, kayo nga ang primary, I think you're the primary, aside from the NBA, yung mga primary agencies that we are banking on this issue. Kaya, I'm hoping that, again, please remember, we are supportive of the PAOC, and we thank you, we commend your accomplishments, but Madam Chair, they should be reminded that comes with yung presidential, the name presidential by itself, yung kanila pang unit, Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Task Force or Commission, carries with it responsibility. Hindi po yan badge to abuse. Tama po yun. Meron kayong kailangan yung gawin yung trabaho nyo, but you have to do it prudently, and due process has to be followed all the time. Madam Chair, thank you po.
Thank you, Sen. JV. And for the record, the Chair would also like to state that totoo, and I know Director Casio, you can hear this and communicate this sa mga colleagues ninyo sa Commission. Perhaps PAOC could have been more circumspect. At the same time, dito sa hearing natin, mabuti na nalaman natin that at one time before, no, Alice Guo has been to Emonpolo, no? Among the many resorts in the Philippines ay nakarating din siya sa Emonpolo. Sinabi din ni Mr. Ronquillo kanina, he never received money from Alice Guo. In fact, para dun sa visit na yon noon, ni hindi pa nga bayad si Alice Guo or si JP Samson. And at a later point, as the Chair mentioned earlier, there may be other evidence, no, that will surface regarding that statement. So for the record then. Salamat, Sen. JB. So now, last and not the least, we go to Sen. Joel for his other questions.
So I can finally eat for the day, Madam Chair. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Let me start by saying and associating myself to Senator JV's statement. Na we are in full support of PAOC, sir. No, please don't get us wrong. We love what you're doing. We support yung efforts po ninyo. Minsan lang we should not be too excited about everything. Maraming mga sometimes irreparable damages that might be committed to by our statements na hindi natin alam na very damaging. Madam Chair, siguro nakikita ko po kanina, I don't know if Mr. Ronquillo is asking that he be recognized. I'm not sure. But perhaps, Madam Chair, can we also ask Mr. Ronquillo to submit to this committee yung binabanggit po niya kanina, if I recall, yung CCTV footage na binanggit po niya kanina, para lang, maano po, no? And at the same time, matulungan din natin yung na damage na reputation po nung resort na wala hong anomalya, wala hong masamang nangyayari doon. At kahit wala ho akong imbitasyon, bala ko pa rin pumunta ho doon balang araw, Madam
Yes,
Chair.
and Joel, Mr. Ronquillo, please i-submit nga yung binanggit niyong mga footage or video dun sa 30 plus ba na CCTV cameras na binanggit niyo kanina. And if you wish and you will allow, Sen. Joel, yes, we may allow Mr. Ronquillo to make a brief manifestation on this issue.
Yes po, thank you
Mr.
po, Madam
Ronquillo.
Chair. Unang-una po, damage has been done po doon po sa resort po namin. And sabihin ko lang po, pumasok po sila sa resort without a search warrant. So meaning, mission order po na ayaw din po kami bigyan ng copy nung pong nandun po sila. So po, nung basa-basa na lang po silang pumasok with force. So parang we feel so violated and abused po dito po sa pangyayari. Kaya po, nananawagan din po kami kung ano man po ang pwede pong maitulong. Kasi po, syempre po, kahit pa paano po nasira po yung pangalan, may mga nagpa-cancel po ng booking. So, kaya po, salamat po Senator Joel, Sen. JP, and Madam Chair pa sa pagtulong po, sa pag-clear po ng pangalan po ng Eman Pulo. And Senator Sherwin, thank you very much po.
Salamat, Mr. Ronquillo. And I hope mag-stay on po kayo para sa pagpapatuloy ng hearing dahil nga sa nabanggit kong ibang mga ebidensya na maaring lumabas kaugnay po ng mga issues na nire-raise natin. Hindi lang sa inyo, pati sa PAOC. Sen. Joel still has the floor and maybe later Director Casio would like to address the issues of the mission order vis-a-vis warrant, the issues raised by Mr. Ronquillo.
Sige po, thank you. Thank you again, Sir Winston at Sir Raymond. Maraming salamat po. I'll go straight to the point, Madam Chair, kasi ho kanina I was listening attentively to the questions being raised kay Ms. Sheila. Ms. Sheila, binanggit mo kanina na si Lee Wenyi ay kasama at nakita ninyo, kasama nyo dun sa Singapore. Nung last hearing, ang sabi mo kasi kayo lang nila Wesley, ni Alice, at ni Cassandra. So, nakasama nyo rin pala si Lee Wenyi.
Huli na po sila punta sa amin.
Ha?
Huli na sila.
What do you mean huli? Ibig sabihin ba,
galing sila-
few days after? Hindi ko naman kasi sinabi kung sabay-sabay kayo, pero
hindi po.
when I asked that question last hearing, sino yung kasama nyo, kayo lang ang sabi mo.
Opo. Lating kami sa Singapore outer ilan days. Pupunta po sila sa amin.
Si Lee Wenyi.
Opo.
So sila, so sino pa? Si Lee Wenyi?
Si Daddy pa.
Tsaka yung daddyhan mo, no, na hindi mo biological dad. Sino pa?
Dalawa lang po.
Silang dalawa lang. Okay, balikan ko ulit yung sinabi mo kanina. Sabi mo kanina na ang anak ni Lee Wenyi si Wesley. Diba? Tapos sabi ka mo ni daddy mo, nung tinanong mo kung sino yung nanay ni Alice Guo, ang sabi niya, Pilipina lang.
Opo.
Diba? Pinaniwalaan mo ba si daddy?
Ano po?
Pinaniwalaan mo ba nung sinabing Pilipina ang nanay
Hindi po.
ni Alice Guo? So hindi mo pinaniwalaan. Okay, that's good.
Sorry po, hindi ko maintindihan. Kung diniwala ko?
Kasi
sa
sabi
kanya?
mo, nung tinanong mo si daddy mo, na hindi mo tunay na daddy, kung
Okay.
sino yung nanay ni Alice, ang
Okay.
sabi niya Pilipina.
Opo.
So tinatanong kita ngayon, pinaniwalaan mo ba na sinabi niya na Pilipina?
Kung maliwala ko,
Oo.
sabi niya, opo.
Naniniwala ka?
Opo.
Kahit na meron kayo pareho ni Alice, alam mo na Chinese passport.
Ako ang meron, siya hindi ko nakita, kaya hindi ko alam.
Hindi mo alam. Sige. Tatry kong sumakay sa pambobolang hindi mo alam. Unfortunately, Alice, hindi na ako natutuwa sa mga sinasagot mo sa akin. Simula nung isang hearing, nagpapasensya ako. But at the same time, no, ulitin ko lang yung binanggit mo kanina na since last hearing, 5 oras yung biyahe from the van, from Bamban sa farm, patungo doon sa Pantalan. Pagdating sa Pantalan, may maliit na boat. Doon sa maliit na boat, mga 5 oras ulit sa maliit na boat.
Mga ganyan po, mga 4-5 mga
For
ganyan
5
sila.
hours, pagkatapos malaking boat.
Opo.
Diba? Yung bago ka sumakay ng malaking boat, na 4-5 hours na sumakay ka sa maliit na boat, bago ka sumakay dun sa malaking boat, Wala kang nakita, napansin dun sa iyong paligid. Alam kung saan yon, gaano ka katagal doon sa lugar na yon bago sumakay sa malaking boat. Pagdating ba nung maliit na boat, doon sa lugar, sumakay kayo kaagad-agad doon sa malaking boat?
Opo, sumakay kami po agad. Matilim kasi gabi na po.
Agad-agad
kaya
yon.
hindi nakita.
Pagdating, nandun na yung malaking boat.
Opo.
Diretso na kayo kaagad. Hindi kayo kumain, hindi kayo nagkape,
Hindi
diretso
po.
na. At sabi mo, pag sakay mo dun sa malaking boat, pumunta kayo kaagad dun sa ibaba, ilalim, kwarto. Yung kwarto na yon ay sama-sama kayong tatlo, di ba?
Opo.
Binanggit mo kanina kay Sen JV. Yung kwarto na yon, air condition yon,
Hindi po.
Sheila, hindi. Hindi air condition. At doon sa malaking barko na yon, may nakita kang mga fishing nets, etc. Ilang araw ka doon sa malaking boat na yon?
Pag hindi ako nakakamali, basta 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days. Pagkatapos nung 3 or 4 days na yon, bumaba ka, pagbaba mo, diretso ka ba kaagad doon sa maliit na boat?
Hindi, may hintay lang sandali.
Hintay sandali. Gaano katagal yung sandali? Kalahating oras? Isang oras?
Siguro wala kalahati. Basta sandali lang po.
Sandali lang. Tapos sakay na kaagad dun sa maliit na
Oo
boat.
po.
At dun sa maliit na boat, ilang oras marahil bago mo narating yung Sabah?
Mga 3 o 4, mga ganyan.
3-4 hours.
Mga 3 o 4.
So kulang-kulang, Sheila, the whole time, no? Mula doon sa 5 oras, pinag-uusapan namin dito on the sidelines si Senator Win, Senator Risa, Senator JV. Ang haba nung panahon na yon, hindi ka nagtatanong talaga, wala kang alam sa plano, at sunod-sunod ka lang doon sa gustong ipagawa sa'yo. Tama ba yon?
May tanong ako. Hindi sila sabi sa akin. Sabi ni Alice, wag daw ako alamin. Wag daw marami ako tanungin.
Alam mo ba during that time, kasi ganong kahaba yung biyahe mo, sabi mo kanina, nakasakay ka na sa helicopter, 2
Opo.
beses ni Alice Guo, di ba? Hindi mo ba man lang naisip, kasi mahirap din paniwalaan, Alice, na hindi mo maisip na may kalokohan, may kriminalidad kayong ginagawa, lalong-lalo na kung hindi man ikaw, yung mga kasama mo na nagtatago?
Hindi po kasi
So, tingin mo, natural yun?
yung sabi niya, Alice kami, hindi ko alam, wala ko handa na talaga saan kami punta. Akala ko kasi, punta lang sa labas sandali, babalik na po. Hindi ko po talaga alam.
Alice?
Sen Joel, if I may interject, kahit nung pag-take custody ng Senate sa inyo dito, Sheila, may dala kayong mga bag. May dala kayong mga bag, mga gamit. So,
Ako po wala.
At pera pa.
Wala po.
Meron po
Yung
na,
labas po kami
na
dito, wala po.
inventory po ng Philippine authorities na nag-receive sa inyo ni Cassandra Leong dito sa Pilipinas, for the record.
Opo, sa Singapore po.
Hindi lamang dito pagdating ninyo sa NAIA.
Opo,
po
meron.
yan.
Sheila, uulitin ko yung tanong ko. Sumakay ka 2 beses sa helicopter. Nakita mo kung gaano karangya ang buhay ni Alice Guo na tinuturing kang ate. At mamaya tatanungin ko yung pagiging close ninyo dahil last hearing sabi nyo hindi naman kayo close. Pero nakasakay ka dun sa chopper. Maghihintay ka ng 5 oras sa van ng gabi para sumakay sa isang small boat na another 4 hours. Sasakay ng malaking boat for another 3 to 4 days. Sasakay ulit ng maliit na boat at sasabihin mo sa amin dito sa Senado. Senado ito, hindi ito perya. Para sabihin mo at kumbinsihin mo kami na hindi mo alam na tumatakas itong mga ito. Hindi
ko
mo
po
alam na may mali kayong ginagawa. Hindi mo alam na involved kayo sa criminal activities.
Alam ko man ang gawa namin, pero huli na po. Kasi yung una talaga hindi ko alam.
So the
Sen
entire
Joel,
time
first
na
time niya
bumabiyahe ka,
sinabing
hindi
alam
mo
niya
alam?
na mali.
Huli na po.
Hindi, Sen Joel, napansin ko lang, first time na inamin ni Miss Sheila na at a certain point, alam niyang mali yung ginagawa nila.
Kailan mo na-realize na alam mong mali yung ginagawa
Yung
ninyo?
huli na po, na
Kailan?
yung dating nasa dagat po ako.
Saang part? Kasi mahaba yung dagat. Merong 5 hours na
Yung
small
malaki,
boat
sakay ako sa malaki.
sa malaking boat. Doon mo na-realize. Ayun nga, Sheila, sabi mo nga, nahihilo ka na doon
Opo.
sa dagat, di ba?
Opo.
Pero bakit mo kailangan gawin yun? Bilyonary yung kasama mo, may chopper, may...
Kaya po, natanong ko sa kanya kung saan tayo talaga punta. Ang sabi niya sa akin, wag lang ako tanungin.
Kaya nga, pero sabi mo ngayon, na-realize mo during that time na may mga maling ginawa, kayo o sila. Ano yung na-realize mo? Kayo, kasama ka o sila lang?
Ano po isabihin? Hindi ko makuha.
Sabi mo kasi kanina, nung nasa malaki kang bangka,
Opo.
na-realize mo na may mali sa ginagawa ninyo.
Siguro. Yung duda ako.
Ang siguro,
mali lang gawa. Kasi,
tuturuan kita ng Tagalog, taga Bulacan ako eh.
Okay
Pag
po.
siguro, ibig sabihin hindi ka
Sure.
sigurado.
Opo.
Okay? So, tatanungin kita ulit. Sabi mo kanina, naisip mo na may mali na ginagawa.
baka, opo.
Ang baka, hindi baka.
Hindi sure.
Oo, ang
Opo.
baka ay
Hindi
siguro
sure.
din.
Oo,
Oo.
siguro po.
So, which is which?
Siguro. Siguro po. May mani na kami.
Siguro pa? Pagkatapos
Opo.
mong maranasan yung ganun?
Opo, kaya tanong ko nga siya kung saan talaga kami punta, tayo punta. Sabi niya, wag daw ako tanungin. Basta, sama ka lang.
Alam mo, Sheila, alam mo, Sheila, na may kalokohan, may kriminalidad, kung bakit ganon. Ba't aalis ng gabi? Ayaw mo pa nga sabihin sa amin dito kung sino yung mga tumulong sa inyo.
Hindi ko po alam eh.
Kaya nga, ako muna. Pwedeng ako muna.
Okay po, sorry po.
Pagka na lang tinanong kita tsaka
Sorry po.
kasagot. Okay?
Sorry.
Alam mo yun, na may tumutulong sa inyo, maaaring hindi mo kilala, pero alam na alam mo. Kami ngayon dito sa committee, may mga kaalaman na impormasyon. Kaya gusto namin sabihin sa iyo, Sheila, na kailangan mong magsabi ng totoo dahil mahihirapan ka na makabangon pagka ikaw ay nasakdal na at pag pinarusahan ka na, sabi ng mga matatanda sa Pilipinas, hindi ko kasi alam kung talagang tunay kang Pilipino, nasa huli ang pagsisisi. At minsan, pag huli na, wala ka nang magagawa. Binanggit mo kanina na yung pinupuntahan mong trabaho na embroidery sa Balintawak. Tama po ba yun?
Yung una dating ko.
Yung unang dating mo sa Balintawak. Yung Balintawak na embroidery, yung ba yung kumpanya ninyo na QW Embroidery?
QJJ. Yung una hindi
QJJ,
po.
I mean.
Opo.
Yun na yun.
Opo, pero hindi yung pangalan.
Hindi. Ibang pangalan.
Iba po.
Pero nung lumipat ka from Balintawak, saan ka na nagpunta? Na embroidery?
Nalipat kami sa...
Sa Marilao ba?
Hindi po. Lipat kami sa...
Valenzuela.
Valenzuela
Oo,
po.
katabi lang halos yun. Magkatabi lang. Balintawak, tsaka Valenzuela.
Opo.
During those times, saan ka nakatira, Sheila?
Sa embroidery lang po ako palagi.
So, dun mismo sa lugar.
Mm-mm.
Dun ka lang nakatira.
Mm-mm.
Kailan ka lumipat ng Marilao?
Hindi ko matandaan kung ano tao. Siguro, may 10 taon na siguro.
May 10 taon na sa Marilao.
Opo,
At dun
siguro.
sa Marilao, sa embroidery ka rin.
Opo.
Naninirahan.
Opo.
Yun yung QJJ embroidery
Opo.
pa rin. Okay? Natandaan mo, nung last hearing, sinabi ko sa'yo, Sheila, sa Marilao, dyan din yung warehouse ninyo. Tapos sabi mo, anong warehouse? Yung warehouse na yon, ang QJJ na ibinahagi sa atin ng authorities, and if we can show the picture, can we show the picture here? Hindi mo alam yon kasi nasa SALN ni Alice Guo yun eh. Ayan, yung sa Marilao. Is that the one in Marilao? Yeah. So hindi mo alam yan?
Yan yung Bulacan?
Oo,
Opo.
Marilao.
Opo.
Diyan ka nakatira?
Opo.
So bakit mo sinasabing hindi mo alam yung lugar sa... Hindi mo iniisip na warehouse yun, yung ganong kalaki na embroidery ba yun? Parang...
Opo, embroidery po.
Mhm. And dito sa embroidery na ito, corporate secretary ka. Ayan. Corporate secretary ka, di ba? Alam mo yon.
Opo.
So alam mo
Opo,
na
pero
corporate
hindi ko alam kung ano yun.
So, as corporate
Alam ko yun.
secretary, Sheila, pirma ka rin ng pirma kasi, siyempre, marami kang pipirmahan dyan.
Opo.
Okay. So, alam mo na pumipirma ka. Madam Chair, na let it be placed on record na alam niya na pumipirma siya as corporate secretary. Samantalang nung mga nakaraang hearing, wala siyang alam na pinipirmahan. Binanggit mo na hindi kayo close ni Alice, pero klarong-klarong close na close kayo kasi ikaw ang napili niya sa dami ng tao sa mundong ito. Ate, samahan mo ko, nalulungkot ako. At hindi ka magtatanong kahit anong paggawa ko sa iyo, papirma ko sa iyo, hindi ka magtatanong. Kaya close kayo, Sheila. Tama ba ako?
Opo.
O, tama ako, close up kayo. Kasi nung last time na tinanong ka ni Senator Grace po, ang sabi mo, hindi kayo close.
Sorry po.
Magkano ang sweldo mo sa kanya dito sa embroidery na ito? As corporate secretary?
Hindi ako kuha ng sahod. May kailangan ginuha ko kay daddy.
Okay, so hindi ka sumusweldo sa kanila?
Hindi po.
So hindi ka sumusweldo, pero lahat ng kailangan mo, ibinibigay?
Opo.
So ikaw ba alam mo ba kung ikaw ay may SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig,
Hindi po.
etc. At ikaw ay corporate secretary, dapat alam mo itong information sheet, yung general information sheet.
Hindi po.
So hindi mo rin alam.
TMA lang po.
So hindi mo rin alam kung may SS ka, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig. Mamaya babanggitin ko kasi itong mga kumpanya, tinignan namin, halos wala, no? Itong Baofu, nasa 6 billion ang mga gusaling na ipitayo, pero 25 lang, Madam Chair, yung empleyado nila. Ang Zunyuan naman, may mga villas, ilang buildings na maraming workstations, pero wala ni isang na diniklara na empleyado. Sa SSS naman, I'm talking about all these companies related to the Go family, Madam Chair. Sa SSS naman, may nakadeklara 22 employees sa QJJ Farm. Ikaw bilang corporate secretary, alam mo ba na 22 lang ang inyong empleyado sa
Hindi ko po alam.
QJJ? Pero
Hindi po.
pirma ka ng pirma. May mga empleyado kayo na hindi nyo binibigyan ng SSS, Pag-ibig at PhilHealth. At sa batas ng Pilipinas, mapaparusahan kayo dito, no? Itong Baofu naman, mula sa initial na 25, naging isa na lamang yung empleyado doon sa SSS, Madam Chair. Doon po sa 17 na kumpanya, 3 lamang ang may nakadeklara na manggagawa. Tingnan naman natin yung Pag-ibig. Sa Pag-ibig, under the law, kailangan po meron ito. Sa 17 na kumpanya, 2 lamang ang may empleyado. 4 lang sa QJJ Farm. Mapalad ka, Sheila, kung kasama ka dito sa 4 na may Pag-ibig. At 19 dito naman sa Mighty Swine. Sa PhilHealth, last na po ito, sa PhilHealth, 12 ang kumpanya na hindi man lang nakarehistro sa PhilHealth. Kaya mismong corporate secretary, right before us here in the Senate, is saying she's not even aware whether or not she's registered sa PhilHealth. At meron pong 5 lamang na nakarehistro, sa 5 na nakarehistro, sa 12, sa lahat ng kumpanya po, 2 lang ang may empleyado, Madam Chair. 40 sa QJJ Farm at 24 sa Mighty Swine. So, mamaya tatanungin ko po, DOJ, PAOC, PNP, NBI, CIDG, kung ano yung mga nakikita nating kaso na isasampa dito, kaugnay po dito. At kung yung mga Pilipino kababayan natin ay parte nito, saan ba sila po pwedeng lumapit para masampahan pa ng kaso, additional cases, itong Go family. Iba't iba pa ang bilang ng empleyadong rehistrado, Madam Chair, at may tila baga parang may tambyolo lamang sina Alice Guo para piliin sino lamang ang rirehistro sa PhilHealth, sino lamang rirehistro sa Pag-ibig, sino lamang sa SSS. Wala ba kayong ganon, Sheila, kung sino lang yung irirehistro nyo bilang corporate secretary dyan sa QJJ?
Hindi ko po alam.
May nakita ka bang empleyado ng QJJ na kasama mo bilang ikaw ay corporate secretary?
Wala siguro, hindi ko nakita.
So nagtatrabaho kang mag-isa sa sinasabi mong embroidery, ikaw lang mag-isa?
May tao naman, may tao po doon.
Ilan yung tao mo?
Sa ngayon siguro mga 40 plus.
40 plus kayo. So yung 40 plus na yun, Madam Chair, ay hindi nakarehistro at hindi binabayaran o nirehistro sa PhilHealth at iba pang mga ahensya. Sheila, isa na lang no, na gusto kong pagtuunan ng pansin para mapakita natin ngayon na talagang close kayo ni Alice. Kayo ay matagal nang magkasama mula, sabi mo, na-meet mo lang si Alice dito sa Pilipinas. Yun ba ay yung araw na pagdating mo dito sa Pilipinas noong 2001? 2001? Doon mo lang siya na-meet?
Opo.
Pagdating mo, na-meet mo na siya?
Opo, sa bahay po.
Sa bahay at tumira kayo sa isang bahay pagdating mo?
Opo.
2001?
Doon. Opo.
Okay. So, since then, 2001, kailan kayo nagkahiwalay lamang?
Sa bahay siya pero hindi siya palagi. Kasi pupunta siya sa farm, tapos bahay, balikan.
Ito ay sa Bamban din?
Opo.
Okay. So, magkasama kayo sa isang bahay pero hindi kayo laging magkasama?
Opo.
Tama?
Opo.
Okay.
Doon.
So, hanggang
Yung bago.
kailan nangyari yung ganong sitwasyon sa inyong buhay?
Simula lating ako, ganun na po.
Hanggang?
Hanggang ngayon po.
O, hanggang ngayon?
Ngayon halos hindi na siya uwi.
Kaya nga, so talagang magkasama kayo palagi?
Hindi.
Hindi lang kayo magkasama
Kita.
palagi, I mean, pero pareho kayo ng bahay na tinitirahan.
Ay,
At-
bahay niya po pero hindi siya uwi.
Okay.
Bihila lang siya uwi.
Nung una, sabi mo nga, hindi kayo siguradong magkamag-anak kayo. Kailan mo na-realize na malapit ang inyong mga dugo?
Ano po?
Kailan mo na-realize na magkalapit kayo ni...
Ano po yung ilalay? Hindi ko maintindihan.
Hindi kayo biological sister, di ba?
Opo.
So ano kayo talaga ni Alice Guo?
Kapatid po kami.
Kapatid sa
Tatay.
tatay lang?
Opo.
Sa nanay, hindi?
Hindi po.
Okay. Nung 2008, may nakita ako dito ng mga travel records. Kayo ba ni Alice laging lumalabas ng bansa magkasama?
Paglabas ako mansa, halos siya ang kasama ko.
Siya ang kasama mo. So, ilang beses kayong lumabas ng bansa? Siguro may 10, 20 beses?
Nakalating kami sa Singapore, Thailand.
Since 2000,
Japan.
kung matandaan mo, kailan kayo unang lumabas ng bansa? Dalawa ni Alice?
Una pa lang sa Singapore ata.
Mga anong taon kaya yon? Kahit na estimate mo lang.
Matagal na. Sa Venezuela pa kami.
Mga 2008, 2009.
2000.
May mga
Siguro
30 beses na kayong lumabas ni Alice sa ibang bansa.
2008?
May 20 beses na kayong lumabas ni Alice sa ibang bansa.
Meron
na.
po, meron.
Mga
30
30
beses?
times, oh.
Wala siguro.
Wala. Pero 20 meron.
Wala.
Kanina yun ang tanong ko, sabi mo yes.
Ha? 20 beses wala siguro. Ganito
Mga ilang
namin
beses?
sa bansa.
10 beses lang? Sige, please.
Sen. Sherwin.
Based on the BI records, 10 flights.
10 flights.
10 times.
Mga ganyan po.
10
Siguro.
times. Kasi,
hindi ko matandaan.
iniisip ko kasi, Sheila, lumabas din ba kayo na using a private plane
Ano ibig
ng
sabihin?
bansa? Gumamit kayo ng pribadong eroplano, hindi commercial flight, pumunta
Hindi
sa ibang
yung-
bansa.
Hindi po.
So lagi, ting lumalakad kayo ni Alice, laging commercial flight,
Commercial
puntang
flight.
ibang bansa.
Yung dubaan sa...
Sa airport,
Opo.
sa commercial
Opo.
flight.
Opo.
So lagi. Hindi mo pa naranasan sa buhay mo, nakasama mo si Alice, na sumakay kayo ng pribadong eroplano, maliit na eroplano, hindi ka dumaan sa regular na airport.
Ano po ibig sabihin? Sorry po.
Hindi ka gumamit ng pribadong eroplano. Yung maliit lang na eroplano, hindi yung malaki, hindi PAL, hindi Singapore Airlines. Nare-recall mo ba?
Malaki po palagi.
Palagi.
Opo.
So, hindi mo naranasan, nakasama si Alice, na maliit lang na eroplano, pribadong eroplano, walang masyadong customer, kayo lang,
Wala po.
Hindi. Okay, that's good.
Sen Joel, if I may interject lang, nalito ako, Sheila, dun sa isang sagot mo kay Sen Joel kanina lang. Nalito yata kami pareho ni Sen Sherwin kasi sabi mo kanina lamang, magkapatid kayo sa tatay ni Alice. Pero naalala ko, yung nakaraang hearing, ang sabi mo ay, tita mo si Lin Wenyi na nanay ni Alice. Ang totoong magulang mo, pareho nasa China. Yun ang sinabi mo sa unang hearing. So, ano ba talaga? Yung mga magulang mo ba ay nasa China? Tulad nung sinabi mo sa amin nung unang hearing?
Kaya
Or
sabi
itong
kasi-
magkapatid kayo ni Alice sa tatay?
Magkapatid kami kasi sabi ni Daddy, kapatid ko yun.
Pero hindi
Pero hindi-
biological
Opo,
na kapatid.
hindi
So,
po,
ang
sa tatay lang po.
totoo ay yung sinabi mo sa unang hearing na ang parehong magulang mo
Si
ay nasa
Westy.
China.
Yung nanay ko,
Nanay mo at tatay mo ay nasa China.
opo.
Tama?
Opo.
Pareho. Nanay mo nasa China, tama. Tatay mo nasa China din. So, hindi kayo magkapatid sa tatay ni Alice, tama?
Kapatid tatay Alice, hindi siya tunay na tatay.
Ano po?
Kung mga kapatid kami, lalo ni Alice, pero yung tatay niya, yung tatay hindi tulay ng tatay ko, yung tatay niya.
Tatay-tatayan.
Tatay ni Alice, yung tunay na tatay ni Alice, tsaka yung tatay ko, hindi. Iba. Ano ba? Hindi po.
So, tatay-tatayan mo yung daddy ni Alice.
Opo.
Sino naman yung tinatawag mong daddy?
Ano po?
Siya nga. So, yung tinatawag mong daddy ay totoong tatay ni Alice.
Opo.
Okay. So, yung sinasabi mong magkapatid kayo sa tatay ay biological father ni Alice, pero tatay-tatayan mo.
Opo.
Yung tinatawag mong daddy.
Opo.
Okay.
Sorry po.
Yes, nakakalito po talaga.
Sorry
Hindi
po.
lang ito yung halos buong kwento mo.
Sorry po.
Alice,
Salamat, Sen.
Thank you,
Joel.
thank you, Madam Chair. So, to be clarified again, kapatid mo si Alice sa tatay-tatayan mo. Hindi mo tunay na tatay yun.
Opo.
So, hindi kayo talaga magkapatid ni Alice, whether sa totoong nanay mo o sa totoong tatay mo. Mahirap ba sagutin yun, Sheila?
Magulo na rin.
Okay, ulitin ko. Sheila, may totoong, wag muna tayo dun sa mga tatay-tatayan. Okay? Dun muna tayo sa totoo, biological tatay at biological nanay. Okay? Si Alice, may tunay na tatay at tunay na nanay. Si Sheila, may tunay na nanay, may tunay na tatay. Ito ba sa apat na ito, walang pareho? Pareho kayong pareho
Wala
ni
po.
Alice na nanay, parehong tatay, wala.
Wala po.
So paano kayo naging magkapatid?
Sabi ni
Sinasabi
Daddy.
mo.
Kasi Daddy ang tawag ko siya eh.
Okay.
Opo.
Thank you for clarifying. But hindi ka makakalusot dun sa, kahit na may ganyang layer kayo, hindi kayo makakalusot sa mga krimen na inyong ginawa, no? In all these criminal activities. Gusto ko lang puntahan yung travels ninyo ni Alice, Sheila. Dito sa mga pinapakita, no? May nakita tayo since 2008, ikaw ay nagta-travel na kasama si Sheila. 2008, 2009 hanggang 2024. Magkasama kayo ni Alice, no? Lagi kayong magkasama eh. Parehong airline, parehong airport, parehong lugar yung pinanggalingan ninyo at parehong lugar yung inyong nilapagan. Tanong ko, dito sa maraming lakad ninyo at alis ni Alice, sino pa yung nare-recall mo na kasama ninyo sa mga lakad at travels na ito?
Siguro minsan kasama yung tauhan niya.
Sino tong tauhan niya na ito?
Si tauhan ni Alice.
Kaya nga, sino siya?
May lalawa secretary po.
Katari?
Secretary. So,
Secretary.
assistant o secretary?
Hindi mo siya kilala?
Alam ko siya yung...
Tingin ko
kilala ko
kilala
siya.
mo siya.
Opo, kilala ko
Oo.
siya.
So, anong pangalan niya?
Pwede hindi po ako mangit.
Other than the Secretary of
Sen Joel, if I may interject.
Please, please.
Bakit hindi mo masagot in hearing yung tanong ni Sen Joel kung sino yung dalawang secretary?
Pwede sulat ko na lang sa papel yung pangalan niya.
Kung pwede naman, isulat mo na ngayon please yung pangalan ng dalawang secretary para makita namin ni na Sen Joel at iba pang mga senador. Pakisulat mo na ngayon, Ms. Sheila. Salamat. Pakituloy ang pagsagot sa mga tanong ni Sen Joel.
Bingo.
You have the floor, Sen Joel.
Bingo to. Salamat, Sheila. I appreciate. Nagbago ulit ang paningin ko sa'yo na nais mong makatulong at nais mong magkaroon ng malinis na konsensya.
Ibig sabihin, Sen Joel, if I may interject, kaya mo, Miss Sheila, magsabi ng totoo.
Kaya
Sen
mo,
Joel.
kaya mo. No? Other than these two, Secretary Sheila, may ilang ka pang kasama na hindi mo pa nabanggit sa committee na ito na paglabas nyo ng bansa, nakasabay ninyo sa aeroplano, kasabay ninyo umalis? Ay,
Wala po.
wala, okay. So sila lang.
Opo.
So the whole time since 2004,
Isang beses lang po.
isang beses lang to, no? But I mean, yun nga, since the time na lumalabas kayo ni Alice, ito lang yung time na may kasama kayong dalawa.
Isang beses po.
Yung iba wala na. Kayong dalawa lang talaga.
Opo.
Okay.
Minsan tatlo.
O, tatlo. Sino yung isa?
Minsan si Wesley.
Si Wesley. Okay. Si Cassie, hindi?
Si Cassie, one time sa Taiwan.
Si, meron din.
Oo.
O, baka meron ka pang ibang naisip.
Wala po.
Politiko, wala?
Kami lang po.
Politiko, wala?
Kami lang po talaga.
Maaaring kasama mo, pero kasama ni Alice, pero hindi mo siya kilala at di mo lang tinanong? Wala.
Wala naman po.
Okay. Dito na ako pupunta. Sa mga pinuntahan ninyo, example na lang natin itong dalawang pangalan na ito. Saan kayo pumunta nito?
Sama sila?
Sila?
Thailand nata?
Thailand.
Opo.
2024 na yan? Itong taon na?
Last year ba?
Last year
Okay
pa.
galan. Oo.
Okay. Okay lang. Wala. So Thailand, most likely, sure ka na Thailand? O
Thailand. Opo,
Thailand. Okay. Dun sa
Sen
pinunta...
Joel, if I may just interject, meron lang breaking news. We've just received word that Philippine authorities are now in physical custody of Alice Guo in Indonesia. At may update, speaking of yung real-time update na hinihingi sa BI, may information na she will be surrendered tomorrow sa Senate. So just para sa kabatiran ng lahat.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And let me take this opportunity to again congratulate our dear colleague, Senator Risa, this committee, this institution for taking the cudgels of ensuring that our people will be best served, Madam Chair. Balikan kita, Sheila, no? Dito sa pinuntahan nyo sa Thailand, anong ginawa nyo sa Thailand? Bakasyon ba? Negosyo?
Bakasyon
Pareho?
po. Bakasyon po.
Bakasyon lang. Sigurado kang walang negosyo, walang pinag-usapang negosyo, anong pwedeng...
Wala po.
Oh. Itong dalawa na ito ay walang negosyo ito na interest sa inyo?
Wala po. Tauhan ng yan po.
Tauhan lang ni?
Di Alice po.
Ni Alice, okay. So, yung punta nyo ng Thailand, bakasyon.
Opo.
Yung mga ibang lakad ninyo, bakasyon din ba yun?
Opo.
Lahat ng lakad nyo ba ni Alice ay bakasyon? Wala kayong pinuntahan ni isa, sa nare-recall mo, ni isa na pinuntahan na may kailangang gawin, ikaw man o si Alice, nagagampan ng tungkulin na may kinalaman sa inyong negosyo?
Wala po, polo ano lang. Pasya lang po.
Lahat, pasyal, shopping, kain,
Opo, ganun lang.
ikot.
Ikot po.
At anong average time na mga alis ninyo? 1 linggo, 3 araw, 5 araw?
Siguro mga ganyan, ilan araw po. Ulit.
Di, yung time lang, no? At magba-wind up na ako, Sheila. Maraming salamat sa sagot nyo. Wala kayong naka-meeting ni isa dun sa mga lakad ninyo sa ibang bansa? Naka-meeting? Maaaring Chinese national,
Wala po.
wala kayong naka-meeting, o siguro hindi mo alam. Kasi minsan, siguro lumalabas siguro, hindi naman siguro 24 hours kasama mo si Alice.
Paglabas kami, halos kami makasama. Hindi pa kami
Hindi kayo naghihiwalay.
Opo.
Sa banyo lang ang hiwalay.
Opo, halos.
So lahat magkasama kayo.
Opo.
Kaya alam mo na walang meeting na nangyayari. Pero siguro sa telepono may kinakausap si Alice.
Ay, hindi ko alam po.
So wala, hindi mo alam. So posibilidad na may kinausap sa telepono,
Hindi ko alam po.
'di ba? Oo. Pero posibilidad na may kinausap
ko
siya sa
alam.
telepono. Kaya posibilidad, may posibilidad. Siguro, gagayahin kita, siguro
Hindi ko alam.
may kinausap. Yung siguro hindi mo sure. Kaya siguro yung anuhin ko, no, gagamitin ko. So Madam Chair, maraming salamat po at marami tayong pagtatagping pieces of the puzzle at natutuwa po tayo na yung mga sakripisyo natin kahit na hindi pa rin tayo kumakain pareho, Madam Chair, may pinupuntahan. Maraming salamat, especially to our resource persons. Yung kanina pala, pinost ko kanina, no? Yung sa DOJ, PAOC, PNP, NBI, itong mga pinakita natin na non-registration of employees. Sana makita rin po natin ito at dagdag kaso po ito na po pwede nating i-file sa mga kinauukulan. Nang sa ganon, at the end of the day, hindi pa marisan ito ng ating mga kababayang Pilipino. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Maraming salamat din po, Sen Joel, at sa lahat ng ating mga resource persons ngayong araw at lalong-lalo na sa mga kasama ko dito sa Senado. Unti-unti na pong nagkakaroon ng direksyon ang investigasyon sa kung paanong si Alice Guo, also known as Guo Huaping, na laman ng lahat ng balita at social media ay nakatakas at naglaho parang bula. Sabi nga ni Sen Joel, pieces of the puzzle. The institutional failings which contributed to this truly shameful and sad chapter are beginning to come to light. Ang sensitibong unit ng Bureau of Immigration, hinahayaang pamunuan ng taong may kasaysayan ng korupsyon at dati nang tinanggal dahil sa pastillas scam. Pastillas part 2 ba ito? Kaya nakatakas sina Alice? Jumbo pastillas na siguro ito, ano? Sa testimonya ng kaap, parang napakadaling makaalis ng bansa gamit ang peking pangalan basta afford ang private jet. Ang ibang intelligence agencies natin, tila nakaabang pa sa Senado para sa intelligence. At kahit sinibak na sa pwesto si Mayor Guo, lumalabas na may iba namang mayor na maaaring gumagamit ng posisyon para tulungan siyang magtago at tumakas. We now have clear links pointing to the potential involvement of Suwal Mayor Dong Kalugay. Mayor Guo, nagsinungaling kayo sa mukha ng lahat ng Pilipino, pero tapos na ang panloloko nyo. You tried to flee. You failed. Haharapin ninyo ang lahat ng sala nyo dito sa Pilipinas. As I mentioned earlier, we received word that our authorities are now in custody of Alice Guo in Indonesia and she will be surrendered to the Senate tomorrow. Sheila, sana matuto ka sa nangyari kay Alice. There may be time for you yet. May panahon pa, siguro, para sa iyo. At yung sinimulan mo kaninang pagsasabi ng totoo, hari nawa ituloy mo yan. Yung sinabi mo kaninang mali, tas naging siguro, wag nyo nang ilitin yan. Ulitin mo na lang yung sinabi mong totoo tungkol sa mga secretary ni Alice. Gusto sana naming maawa sa'yo, pero naghahalo rin yung naiinis kapag hindi ka nagsasabi ng totoo. Pero kaya naming kalimutin yan. Basta ituloy mo yung pagsasabi ng totoo. At humingi ka ng payo sa iyong mga abogado para rin maiwasan mo yung 600 hanggang 1,200 years na posibleng sentensya. Aasahan naman natin ang pagdalo ni na Guo Huaping, Cassandra Leong at Mayor Dong Kalugay sa susunod na pagdinig. In the meantime, mag-isip-isip na po kayo. At sa lahat ng tumulong at patuloy na tumutulong sa mga puganteng iwasan ng batas, mapa Luzon man hanggang Mindanao, mananagot kayo. At titiyakin namin na pagtibayin ng batas para di na kayo makaulit. So nang may maraming pasasalamat sa lahat ng mga resource persons natin ngayong araw at sa mga kasama kong mga senador, this hearing is suspended.